BBC News with Debbie Russ. The office of the Afghan President Ashraf Ghani says Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison has expressed his deepest sorrow over the misconduct of Australian special forces who've been found to have unlawfully killed at least 39 Afghan civilians and prisoners. Earlier, Australia's Armed Forces Chief General Angus Campbell called the killings a shameful record of a warrior culture among some soldiers who told lies to disguise their actions. The US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who's currently in Israel, has said he'll visit the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights later today. Mr. Pompeo said that last year's decision by President Trump to recognise the area as part of Israel was historically important and a simple recognition of reality. The Oxford University team developing a coronavirus vaccine says results from intermediate trials have shown a promising immune response in the elderly and older adults, some of the most vulnerable groups to COVID-19. Ongoing Phase 3 trials are also testing whether it works in people with underlying health conditions. The Prime Minister of Thailand, Prayut Chan-o-cha, has said his government will use all laws to take action against opposition protesters found to have breached them. Mr. Prayut said demonstrators could damage the country if the situation was not addressed. 250,000 people in the United States have lost their lives to coronavirus-related illnesses, with Wednesday alone seeing 1,900 deaths. A number of states have announced new restrictions. In his keynote speech ahead of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit, the Chinese President Xi Jinping has described China's supersized economy as the forerunner of global economic growth. He pledged to keep seeking openness in trade. Taiwan's opposition leaders have accused the government of unlawfully meddling in a decision not to renew the license of a major news network that has criticised Taiwan's policies on China. BBC News.
This is the BBC World Service, and I'm David Olusoga, writer and historian. And I'm in Washington to talk to Barack Obama, 44th President of the United States, serving from 2009 to 2017, to hear his reflections on his first term in office. Obama came to power in the midst of the financial crisis of a decade ago. His former Vice President, Joe Biden, now the President-elect, is preparing to take office from President Trump. He faces twin crises of his own, the coronavirus pandemic and an America deeply divided. President Obama looks back at his first term in office in his new memoir, A Promised Land. I began by asking him about a movement that started under his presidency and that in 2020 became a global phenomenon. Black Lives Matter. Mr. President.
It's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for having me.
Can I ask you about the timing of A Promised Land? You were writing it, as the preface says, you were putting the final touches to it in August, right, during the summer of Black Lives Matter, an enormous explosion of debate and discussion and protest and what you call righteous anger
today.
That's been compared.
Officially, they're talking about Iran, the growing threat or the existing threat that they see Iran posing. It's what's not on his agenda, which is interesting. Stuff that he's doing that they haven't formally announced that I think is interesting, controversial, and it's a neat two fingers to critics of the Trump administration and to critics of Israel too, because Mike Pompeo this afternoon will be visiting a settlement, an Israeli Jewish settlement deep in the West Bank, a place that is illegally there under international law, but by the Trump administration recognized as not being illegal, a very controversial decision made by Donald Trump last year. He will be the first Secretary of State ever to visit a settlement within the West Bank. He'll also go to the Golan Heights up in the north of Israel, territory that is internationally recognized as being occupied by Israel, territory that is recognized as being Syrian territory occupied by Israel. The Secretary of State will visit there too. So these are two trips to a settlement, to a winery, no less, an Israeli winery within the West Bank, and to the Golan Heights that I think will be seen as very controversial. For Israel, though, they'll be welcoming this. Clearly, for a Secretary of State, the United States Secretary of State, to go to these two places for Israel is a very good thing.
Okay, Mark, for now, thanks very much indeed. Talking a lot about Christmas, haven't we, today? Coming up in just a few moments' time, a bit more about
I don't think I can take the pain. Won't you stay another
So I'll just give you a bit of an earworm in preparation for chatting to Shane Lynch and Abs Love very shortly. Tell you all about that shortly. But first, families dealing with the devastating loss of a parent from cancer will need specialist help. From today, alongside counsellors and doctors, one famous sporting hero wants to offer his support. The former England cricket captain, Sir Andrew Strauss, and his two children lost wife and mum to lung cancer in 2018. To mark Child Grief Awareness Week, he's launching the Ruth Strauss Foundation to help other families, and I'm pleased to tell you that Andrew Strauss is joining us now. Hello to you, thanks for joining us this morning. It's always good to see you. Tell me about the work of the charity and how it's going to help.
Yeah, thanks, Kay. Well, absolutely. As you've just said there, Ruth unfortunately died of a rare form of non-smoking lung cancer in December 2018. And we set up the Ruth Strauss Foundation last year with two aims, really. Number one, to fund awareness and research into these non-smoking lung cancers. But secondly, to help families who go through the awful journey of preparing to lose a parent from cancer. And so this is what we're talking about today. You know, the reality is that unfortunately about 14,000 parents a year have that awful diagnosis, and we don't like talking about death. And certainly when you are going through a cancer journey, the last thing you want to be thinking about all the time is death. You want to be thinking about living and what you can do to deal with your cancer in as better way as possible. But the reality is that if you are able to have those conversations about death, either as a couple and especially with children, then you're better able to prepare yourself and your kids for what is to come. So, you know, as tough as it is, we need to really enable people to have those conversations. And often that takes some sort of professional help for you to be able to do that properly.
Yeah, it must be so hard for children, as you know firsthand. I chatted to A.A. Gill before he died. He died very quickly, as you know, but he died of cancer. And he said he saw it almost as a blessing because at least it gave him the time to spend with his family before he died, rather than being in a car accident or whatever. I suppose that's one way of looking at it, but it's still incredibly difficult for a child to see their parent go from full of life to perishing in front of them.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, one thing that Ruth was determined to do is she always said, look, I want to prepare for death so that I can actually enjoy the rest of the time that I have on this earth. And I think if she felt that she wasn't prepared for it, then she always had that hanging over her. And she was obviously, I mean, we're all, as parents, we want to protect our kids from pain and suffering. And so the instinct is, look, we just don't want them. We don't want to go there with them. And what we know for a fact is, you know, if you're able to be honest with them and able to involve them in the conversation and kind of get them semi-prepared for what's to come, then they're going to find it a little bit easier on the other side when they're dealing with the grief, you know, the horrible grief of losing a parent. So no one is saying this is easy. This is really tough stuff. But one thing we can't do is just sort of stick our heads in the sand and pretend it's not happening. That's not helpful for the sufferer themselves. It's not helpful for their partner, and it's certainly not helpful for their children.
Just looking at the boys there ringing that bell with you. I'm guessing that was at Lord's, was it? I'm not sure. The images, I don't know if you saw them as we were chatting.
It was.
Smiles on their little faces again. Yeah. What was that about?
So that was the Red for Ruth Day, our inaugural Red for Ruth Day, which is where the whole cricketing community came together to support the foundation, really. And we've been incredibly blown away by the support we've received. You know, I think this has struck a real chord with people, you know, this idea of preparing families, you know, talking about death, preparing them for this horrible eventuality. And, you know, we've made a start. The really exciting thing for us is we're launching this training program now, this pilot training program to train healthcare professionals to offer this support for families. You know, they're uncomfortable doing it currently because they're not well trained to do it. And so hopefully our long-term ambition is to make sure that there's support available for any family that is dealing with this horrible situation. And we're well on our way to achieving that.
Do you have any advice at all for other mums and dads who find themselves in a similar position to you?
Well, I think firstly, definitely don't be shy to seek professional help because, this is not something that's easy to do on your own. But the truth is you've got to be as honest as you can with your kids. You've got to get them, first of all, you can't hide this away from them. You certainly can't hide the disease away from them. They will sense that there's things going on. And so, to make sure they're involved in the conversation and you do it in as careful a way as possible, so that when the time comes, they're as ready as they can be. I mean, no one's ever ready for it, but as I said, professional help definitely helps you to do it in the right possible way.
Okay, it's good to talk to you. How are the boys doing?
They're doing okay. It's nearly 2 years on now. Of course, they have bad days, and it's really important that we keep remembering Ruth and finding opportunities.
Opposition to
But they're doing well, and they're enjoying life and enjoying school, and I'm very, very proud of them. They've been fantastic.
I'm sure you are. Christmas is always a hard time, though, isn't it? Even if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah, it is. And, Ruth died on the 29th of December. So around that time, it's going to bring back all sorts of memories for the kids. Hopefully we get an opportunity to be surrounded by family. I think that would be important. But it's also a remembering time, and I think that's important. Those times where you feel emotional and a bit sad, those are times you also have the opportunity to remember, or for us to remember Ruth and all her amazing qualities, and for the boys to remain sort of keyed in and proud themselves of everything their mum did in her life, and especially when she was preparing for her own death as well.
Okay, so Andrew, always great to talk to you. Good luck over the next coming weeks, and all our love to the boys as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kay.
Thanks a lot. We'll be talking about Christmas number ones in just a moment. Stay tuned.
I smash what smash.
Hello again. Now, they were once rivals for the top spot, but now members of some of Britain's biggest boy bands are getting together to challenge for this year's Christmas #1. They formed the group Boys on Block and are releasing a new version of the E17 Christmas classic, Stay Another Day. I know you want to listen. Here we go.
Stay now, you've got to go away. I don't think I can take the pain. Stay now. Won't you stay another day? Oh, don't leave me alone like this. Don't you say it's the final kiss. Stay now. Won't you stay another day?
Well, Shane Lynch from Boyzone and Abs Love from Five joining me now. Thanks for that, guys. That's going to be in my head all flipping day. Now, it's good to see you both. Thank you for joining us. Finally, a Christmas #1 that we can all get behind. Lots of Christmas cheer. Who wants to go first? Where did the idea come from?
Do you know what? I think over the last few years for Christmas #1s, a lot of people have actually got behind them. And more to do with Lad Baby and the whole sausage roll scenario that's been in the charts for Christmas #1. But don't forget that was always for a good cause. It was for the Trussell Trust, which is feeding, food banks and stuff over that period of time. And I think we heard that Lad Baby weren't going for the Christmas #1 this year. So we thought we'd make a little campaign, a little push ourselves, but also keeping it on the same reflection that whatever proceeds we can make, we would like to also donate to food banks over this period of time. Times are getting hard out there.
They sure are, and that's a laudable thing to do, Shane. Abs, how did you get involved?
It's one of those things. Me and the boys just sort of came together, and we're just walking the path. So we're very grateful to be able to do this. We're very grateful to have this opportunity. Like Shane was saying as well, we've also got a backup if the song doesn't do too good. We've recorded a song called Sausage Baby, which we're going to be dropping if it doesn't go too well. So
I'm sure it'll go very well indeed. I don't think you need to worry about that. Shane, how did you go about filming I'm just going to call it a video, but I suppose it is a video because we can see you all.
Yeah, luckily enough, we had this kind of, the period of time where lockdown didn't exist for a while over the summer. So we were able to get into the studio. The studio was kind of the hardest part. We were dotted around the country, but we decided to come together with our producer, Mike Rose, kind of Midlands based, and get it done. But video wise, we shot that down south, down in Kent, where a record label is based. And, we kind of played on the same fact of the iconic video from back in the day from the E17 boys. I mean, it's amazing to be able to have the salute and the signature with Tony Mortimer, the original writer of Stay Another Day, and he's played on the record too. So it's kind of a collaboration as well. But also we as 90s artists are paying our respects to the E17 boys. I mean, what an amazing record, 26 years old this year.
Yeah, I know. Abs, how did you decide which song to use?
The songs have sort of just fallen into place, and obviously E17 Stay Another Day is one of them any of us would have loved to have on our roster to pull out of the bag when we're doing them show. It's a great song, and like Shane says, we're saluting the boy bands of that era, and we're very honored to cover this. And it's out on the 20th. It's out tomorrow, Friday. So and we're from that old school era as well, where we need people to download it, not actually stream it. Because I don't understand this whole new world. Used to be able to sell a CD and buy a CD, sign the poster, and everyone's happy. Yeah, we're from that era. So I need you to download that 99p single.
Very good. Shane, it's been a tough year for musicians, hasn't it? And live music. When do you think you're going to be able to get back to some semblance of normality?
Look, I guess like everybody, we're waiting on our government to tell us what we can or can't do. We can only wait in line like everybody else. I think the industry has took a massive knock. But I think for us guys, Boys on Block, we're trying to stay positive. We're trying to stay that, we still pushing as artists. We're still creating. We're still making music. And what better time to kind of show positivity other than this Christmas time,
Yeah, Abs, Boys on Block, what's the plan for it long term, the band?
Who knows? God willing, we're around for a little longer than my band was. We're usually the boy bands last for around about 5 years, and then they're chewed up and spat out. But this time around, we're hoping we're going to uplift people, do the right thing. We're working on new material, and fingers crossed, it's a good year next year, 2021.
Fantastic. And if I sing, will you stand up for the key change, the pair of you?
Please.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So.
You'd be pleased. You'd be pleased to know I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, so that's not going to happen. Good luck with the single. It's out tomorrow, did you say?
Yeah, it's out on tomorrow, Friday, the 20th. It's released.
Fantastic. Good to talk to both of you. Thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciated.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I bet you want to hear that song again. If we got it lined up, Rich, can we have another quick listen? Here we go.
Don't think I can take the pain now. Won't you stay another day?
Tomorrow, if you'd like to make that the Christmas number one, all the monies that are profits will go to help food banks. Good on you guys. See, Naz, I remember that song the first time round. I bet you don't, do you?
I do, I'm afraid I do. And 14-year-old me is so jealous of you right now. That's for sure. I can't help swaying to that song. Right, weather-wise, well, cold today, but will it be cold tomorrow and the day after? Let's take a look at the details.
Get ready for safe skies. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Good morning. Cold today, a very chilly start to the day and remaining cold into this afternoon. A real change from previous mornings where it was incredibly mild yesterday. Temperatures were above average for the time of year. This morning, they're only a few degrees above freezing across parts of the north where we are seeing some wintry showers. And there's outbreaks of showery rain across central parts of England and Wales at the moment. They're slowly seeping their way southwards, clearing from southern and southeastern areas of the UK by the early afternoon. After that, it's a good-looking day, actually. Yes, you'll have to wrap up warm, especially with the brisk winds from the north, not only bringing through that cold airflow, but the strength of them is making it feel quite chilly out there. But it's dry for most inland areas. There may be some coastal showers. Then by the end of the day, it becomes cloudy across Ireland and Northern Ireland. Rain will seep in from the west and eastward tomorrow with milder conditions.
The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Last word from Joe, as usual, live from Downing Street, and news of a witch hunt, Joe.
Yeah, Len McCluskey, the boss of the Unite Union, has been speaking this morning, I think on his arrival at his union's offices, saying that the fact that Keir Starmer has not restored the whip to Jeremy Corbyn over those controversial comments around the anti-Semitism report is, in his words, a witch hunt. He'd already said yesterday that that decision was vengeful. Meanwhile, in contrast, the Board of Deputies of British Jews has said that decision was appropriate. It does remain under review, though, Kay. I think Keir Starmer, wanting to be very clear that he's having a zero-tolerance approach, is going to hold back that whip. So Jeremy Corbyn is in this strange position of being a member of the Labour Party, but he is not a Labour MP.
OK, and just a very quick thought, if you would, about what we heard from the Defence Secretary this morning.
Well, I think he was trying to avoid having a position on aid spending. We'll probably have more on that next week when the Chancellor has his spending review. He didn't want to say too much more about Christmas either. I think I'll be staying here a bit more than another day to hear what the government have decided we can do at Christmas. But the big story today really is that significant defence spending, Kay. We expect Boris Johnson to be in the Commons just before midday at about 10 to 12 to lay out why he is spending significant amounts, £16 billion extra on defence spending. He will, of course, be appearing via video link from here, but he will be in the Commons virtually, Kay, from just before midday.
OK, Joe, for now, thanks very much indeed. Joe, of course, I think, have you got tomorrow off, Joe?
No, I'm here.
Oh, are you? Oh, good. That's reassuring. Just rejoice at that news. Still to come in the next hour of Sky News, of course, we have Ian King live for you. And then after that, All Out Politics with Adam Belton as far as... Oh, and Mark Austin's got a special programme for you at 6:30 tonight about the vaccines, the myriad of vaccines that we have seen coming through the system now. Which ones should we have the most faith in? Maybe all of them. I don't know. If you tune in to Mark, you'll find out later on. I'll be back at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Look forward to it. Hope to see you then.
For the early risers.
We examine the story beyond the headline.
For the knowledge seekers.
Welcome to Divided States.
For the straight talkers, the curious, and the ones who want to be entertained.
Backstage Sky News' entertainment podcast.
For wherever you are.
Welcome to Sophie Ridge on Sunday podcast.
For the ones who want to know more.
Welcome to the All Out Politics podcast.
For the listeners.
From Sky News Storycast.
Sky News Podcasts. Listen.
Botanica by Airwick. Grown by nature.
The top stories live from the Sky News City studio. Regulators hit comparethemarket.com with an £18 million fine for breaking competition law. We're live at Dublin Airport, where mass testing for passengers has begun today. Also today, a telco giant's plan for the 6th generation of wireless technology. I'll be hearing from the chief executive of the FTSE 100 safety equipment giant Halma. And a look at which universities are translating academic success into business opportunities. Good morning, this is Ian King Live, an hour of business and economic news from the heart of the city. Now, the comparison website comparethemarket.com has been fined nearly £18 million for preventing insurance companies from offering lower prices on other competing sites. An investigation by regulators found the site breached competition law by using clauses in its contracts to protect Compare the Market from being undercut elsewhere. CMA, the Competition Markets Authority, said this meant that customers could not shop around for the lowest price on home insurance. Well, I'm joined now by the Competition Markets Authority's Executive Director of Enforcement, Michael Grenfell. Michael, good morning to you. What evidence do you have that customers actually lost money from this practice?
Good morning. Well, as you say, what this practice was imposing on companies selling home insurance restriction, a contractual provision that said they must not sell it more cheaply on any other website. And we've looked at the effects of that, and those effects included some home insurance companies wanting to sell it more cheaply elsewhere, and wanting to do promotions and promotional deals, and that being not allowed because of this clause. So as a result of that, one can assume that a number of consumers did lose out.
But do you actually have any evidence of consumer loss?
Yeah, we have set out those effects of attempts to offer promotional deals and other discounts on other websites, and those being refused because of this contractual clause. Now, let me just say, the Competition and Markets Authority generally thinks that price comparison websites are a good thing. They give consumers a real choice. They give an opportunity just at the touch of a button to be able to shop around and find the best bargains. The trouble with this contractual provision, which Compare the Market had in place in contracts with quite a number of home insurance companies, was that it restricted the choice and restricted the bargains available to consumers. So obviously people lost out as a result.
And can you say who any of the insurance companies involved here were?
We have to respect the confidentiality here, so I can't name names, but there were quite a number of them, and they included some real household names.
But I mean, these insurance companies were willing participants in this contract. Surely people have a right to know who they were.
Well, Compare the Market is the biggest of the price comparison websites in the home insurance sector. So obviously they felt that if they were to get an important channel to market, they needed to be on Compare the Market, but that restricted them from offering bargains elsewhere. But let's just be clear about consumers needing to know who they were. This practice has now stopped. Shortly after we began our investigation, Compare the Market stopped this practice. But we've investigated it. We found that it broke the law, it broke competition law, and we've imposed a fine of 17.9 million on the company. And that's to send a signal to companies, not just in price comparison, but all across the economy, that if you impose these kinds of clauses that have anti-competitive effects and that therefore harm consumers, we will not tolerate that. And I hope that sends a very, very clear signal, and that should offer real reassurance to consumers.
What I'm slightly at a loss to understand here, Michael, is why an insurance company would agree to clauses like this when there are plenty of other comparison websites out there, Money Market, Supermarket.com, Go Compare, Confused.com and so on?
Well, as you say, there are other websites out there, but Compare the Market was the biggest. And so people felt that if they weren't on Compare the Market, they were losing a big chunk of access to market. And that's one of the reasons why this was so worrying, because it was a big chunk of price comparison services for home insurance product. And if you wanted to have access to that big chunk of the market, you had to agree that you wouldn't offer discounts on any other site. And obviously that's harmful to competition and harmful to consumers. And we found effects that showed how it restricted insurers from offering better deals.
Now, as you say, Compare the Market ceased this practice nearly 3 years ago. Why have you hit them with such a large fine?
Well, it is to send a message, a deterrent message, that other companies, whether in price comparison or in other sectors, should understand that this kind of practice, where it's got effects that harm competition and harm consumers, we will not tolerate that. And I hope all companies get that message, and this fine is a clear deterrent to ensure that that signal gets across.
Now, Michael, we've had a response from Compare the Market. It says, we fundamentally disagree with the conclusions the CMA has drawn and will be carefully examining the detailed rationale behind the decision and considering all of our options. For 14 years, CompareTheMarket.com and the other price comparison websites have revolutionised the way in which consumers shop for their insurance. In the past year alone, we've helped more than 6 million customers save money. I just wonder what your response is to that. Are you bracing yourself for an appeal?
Well, obviously, it's Compare the Market's right to appeal if they want. I hope they will study the decision and reflect on it carefully before they decide whether they want to do that. they have had throughout the course of the investigation the opportunity, which they've exercised, to make representations to us, to put to us arguments and evidence and economic evidence and legal points to us, and they've quite rightly exercised that right. We have considered all that evidence, all that argumentation very, very carefully, as well as evidence we've got from elsewhere and arguments we've got from other parties. Taking all those things into consideration, we've reached a serious, reasoned decision, which we think is robust and which is right, and which unfortunately is a finding that in this case did break competition law. That had effects. Now, just as I said a moment ago,
we're struggling with your line here. I think we'll have to leave it there. Thanks for joining me. Good to talk to you. Now, from today, all passengers at Dublin Airport will be able to be tested for coronavirus. As the aviation industry searches for a way for passengers to travel safely again, the airport says it will be able to test up to 15,000 people a day. Meanwhile, the healthcare company behind the tests, RocDoc, says it will provide private testing services to the public for €130, with results returned within a couple of hours. Well, joining me now is the company's chief executive, David Rock. David, welcome to you. You're already running testing facilities at Cork and Shannon airports. Why has it taken longer to get up and running at Dublin?
Yes, so we opened Cork and Shannon there last week. So it's been a rollout plan. There has been various parts that we had to put into place to get Dublin open as well. And obviously being the capital of a bigger thoroughfoot, we had to go through some additional steps just from a safety, security and planning point of view. So it was very important that we opened in our full capacity and ready to go in larger numbers.
And this is a drive-in facility, I understand. How long has it taken to set up? How much did it cost?
Yeah, so it's been considerable investment required to open up the three laboratories in Dublin, Cork and Shannon. I mean, at the moment behind us, there's some construction going on for our laboratory to be put in, which will be ready probably next week or the week after. We've set up a temporary mobile laboratory here just to facilitate that we'd normally send out to the large workplaces. But to get Dublin Airport off the road and on the road very quite quickly, we've deployed that here. So the centre here has 6 separate lanes that can cater for in-car swabbing, and then when the laboratory opens there will also be a walk-through facility right next to it, so we'll be able to accommodate all the travelling, the passengers and indeed members of the public and businesses.
Now, these tests use both PCR and LAMP technology. Just could you explain, please, for the uninitiated what that means?
Yeah, certainly. So PCR is one of the tests that we're running. PCR is done in generally an off-site laboratory. It's a little bit more of a full-on process. As a result of that, the results take a little bit longer to come back, where the LAMP technology with Hybrigene is the product that we've decided to go with, and that can result in results coming back within a few hours, and certainly all results coming back same day. So that's gone through CE marked and HPRA approval and the various authority figures having to approve the product, and the HSE indeed are currently looking at that as part of more of the rapid testing.
Well, that's it. I understand Ireland's HSC, the Health and Safety Executive, have raised a few issues over LAMP technology. They feel that the positive test results there aren't all they might be cracked up to be.
No, certainly that's not the information that we've been portraying to them, and certainly our in-house validation test. So Hybrigene is obviously an external company, and RocDoc is a separate company. So we've looked at the product, we've run our own validation processes, and we've done a side-by-side comparison from PCR to LAMP, and we're quite happy with the results. We've presented that to the HSC and NVRL, and they're currently looking at it. But certainly I haven't had that information fed down to me at all.
So there's no evidence of anyone who's been diagnosed positive under LAMP inaccurately or anything like that? It's the gold standard I've seen elsewhere.
So the Hybrigene LAMP test that we're doing at the moment, no, we haven't had any false positive, false negatives to date that I'm aware of, and certainly we're happy to stand over the accuracy of the test as it stands presently. So it's not just standard LAMP, we are actually doing LAMP with extraction, which makes it that little bit more sensitive.
And just how much has traffic at Dublin Airport fallen by, David, of late?
So as soon as the lockdown came in, obviously that had a huge impact. Now, it's not just the passengers that we're testing for, it's members of the public as well, so people that need to go and see dying or sick relatives, or indeed businesses during this COVID crisis where they have to stay open for production to stay open. We're finding that there's an awful lot of businesses using our facility to test them. So where we have a large workforce, we're able to isolate an individual, sometimes pre-symptoms even, and take them out of the workforce. And the idea behind that is then it doesn't spread through it. So passenger levels have gone down because it's only really essential travel that can happen at the moment. And obviously this is in line with the EU traffic light system, and I believe something similar with our UK market as well.
And briefly, David, if you'd be so kind, have you noticed any uptick in passenger numbers at Shannon and Cork since you began testing there?
Yes, certainly there has been some essential workers that have really welcomed the project that we've done down there, and the numbers have gone up significantly since day one opening. But we just need to emphasise that it's only essential travel right now, and that it is important that we do listen to both the NHS and the HSE guidance on lockdown.
All right, David Rock, thanks very much for joining me. It's much appreciated. Well, let me run you through some of the other big business stories that are around this morning. And the Royal Mail has reported that it saw profits fall by 90% during the first 6 months of the financial year, despite a boom in parcel deliveries during the first lockdown. The group's posted an overall operating loss of £20 million for the 6 months to the 27th of September. That compares with earnings of £61 million in the same period last year. Well, despite this, Royal Mail says its first half performance exceeded expectations, with parcel revenue overtaking letters for the first time in the company's history. The specialty chemicals and sustainable technologies company Johnson Matthey has cut its dividend after half-year pre-tax profits fell by 53% to £109 million. The FTSE 100 company blamed a drop in sales in its clean air division, which provides emission control catalysts to 1 in 3 new cars sold globally as a result of COVID-19. But it insisted activity in this and other key markets had improved since the beginning of the pandemic. And the boom in home improvements that began during the first lockdown has continued to lift sales at B&Q. Its parent company Kingfisher said today that UK and Ireland sales at the DIY retailer were up by 24% on a like-for-like basis during the 3 months to the end of October. Sales at Screwfix were up by 17% during that period. It was a similar story at Castorama, Kingfisher's French business, where like-for-like sales rose by 19%. Kingfisher also said that during the first week of the second lockdown in England this month, B&Q had enjoyed exceptional demand. Now, while 5G internet coverage isn't yet standard across the UK, the Japanese telecoms giant NTT has revealed plans to hit its domestic market with 6G. Japan has lagged behind China, South Korea and some Western countries with the rollout of 5G, but NTT is already pressing ahead with an ambitious plan for the next generation of optical and wireless network. Well, Jason Goodall is the Chief Executive of NTT Limited. Jason, good morning to you. So 6G is delivered by something called IOWN, which is Innovative Optical and Wireless Network. Explain that for the uninitiated, please.
Morning, Ian. Thanks very much for having me. So another acronym that we enjoy, obviously, in the IT industry. So to try and simplify it, it really is the next generation of networking. As you mentioned, it's NTT, but frankly speaking, and working in collaboration with 30 other companies, massive technology companies. And it really is to try and figure out what next after 5G and 6G. If you look at some of the stats in the industry currently today, data traffic is doubling every year. At the same time, 7% of the world's power feeds IT and the internet. This, frankly, is not sustainable. So what we're trying to achieve through IOWN is to create the next generation of networking that fundamentally changes the power consumption required by a factor of 100, and at the same time actually increases the capacity by 125 times to fundamentally cater for what we see as the future requirements of networking in a much more sustainable way.
Now, as I said in the introduction, Jason, NTT, Japan's been accused of lagging the likes of China and South Korea in 5G rollout. Why not concentrate on that first?
I think 5G is well underway, Ian, and obviously at the Olympic Games next year, the plan is to obviously be launching 5G. You might have seen as well that NTT have partnered very closely with NEC, and a large part of that partnership really is to accelerate 5G deployments in Japan and around the world. So I think NTT, as always, is right up there when it comes to what we see the opportunities around 5G are.
Now, as part of this process, NTT is buying full control of its mobile unit, NTT Docomo. What's the reasoning there?
Yeah, good question. So the transaction was actually completed on Tuesday, Ian, so obviously very topical. It means that Docomo is now a 100% subsidiary of NTT Holdings, and a couple of reasons, I think. Firstly, if you look at what's happening in the market, there's definitely a convergence of mobile and other technologies, and we saw an opportunity to be able to sell broader services to our existing Docomo client base. Secondly, we see there's an opportunity, frankly, to be more efficient in the way that Docomo's operated as part of a bigger group. And thirdly, we also see a global opportunity. So Sawada-san announced his intention to look at globalizing some of the Docomo capabilities around the world. And I think just a lot easier, candidly, to do that as a 100% subsidiary.
Now, the part of NTT you run, it's all of NTT's non-Japanese operations, 40,000 employees in 73 countries around the world, based here in London. That is a huge business to try and get your arms around during a pandemic when you haven't been able to travel.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's challenged all of us. I mean, thankfully, as a technology company, we're probably slightly better prepared in that we've always sort of had this hybrid way of working. Our staff were very easy to work remotely. But it has had its challenges. I guess our biggest challenge has been how do we continue to deliver those mission critical services to our customers at a time that we have to do it remotely. I think we've done a fantastic job around that. And I suppose the challenge for all of us here in Canada is we're not sure how long this is going to be lasting. So, the uncertainty is still very much in the market. But technology, I think, is going to be the solution to some of the challenges that the world faces. And some of those challenges have been highlighted through this pandemic.
Now, obviously, the UK's just signed a free trade agreement with Japan. Do you think this is going to step up Japanese investment in this country?
I think it will. And I think it's just the next sort of step, I guess, in what's always been very, very strong relations between the UK and Japan. Across all levels. What it does allow us to do a lot more easily is to share IP, to share data, obviously within the constructs of privacy, but to share data and IP a lot easier, and at the same time to ensure that we can move technical resources between Japan and the UK a lot easier. So I think if you look at the UK and the tremendous skills and capability we have around technology innovation, you map that to what Japan and NTT specifically does, I think it's a fantastic opportunity for both countries.
All right, Jason, it's been a while since we've had you on the programme, so it's great to see you again. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Ian.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. I'll be taking a look at how the markets are trading this morning.
Botanica by Airwick. Grown by nature.
Welcome back. Let me talk you through what's been going on the markets today. And stocks sagged on Wall Street last night as a rise in coronavirus cases forced more parts of the United States to impose restrictions. As you can see, that was followed by some fairly mixed trading overnight in the Asia-Pacific region. Tokyo, Hong Kong and Mumbai all finished lower. Sydney and Shanghai finishing ahead there, as you can see. In Europe, markets opened to the downside a couple of hours ago or so. Here's the current picture. All of the major indices, I think I can show you. They are coming and right. Well, I'm told we can't show you that one, but they're all lower. I can assure you of that. Shares of the carrier Norwegian is down some 15% in Oslo today. Oh, they are coming after all. Here they go. There you go. Hope it's worth the wait. A sea of red, so say. Norwegian Airlines, as I say, mentioned them. The 15% lower in Oslo this morning. That's after it sought protection from its creditors. Here in London, similar story to mainland Europe. FTSE 100 off some 61 points, down nearly 1% low, and a broad-based sell-off led by the oil and mining heavyweights. The biggest blue chip faller in percentage terms is Kingfisher. That is down to the fact that the sales growth I was talking about just now is slower than in previous quarters. There's also some talk its suppliers are struggling to cope with the rise in demand from all of its customers. The Irish conglomerate DCC, that is nearly 3% lower today. Oh, look at that. It's only a couple of percentage points now lower down. It's gone ex-dividend today. In other words, the shares are trading for the first time without the right to the latest payout. Not too many gainers to mention, but Morrison's, the supermarket operator, that's the best performing blue chip, while Halma, who we'll be hearing about shortly, their shares are ahead by some 2%. Outside the FTSE, Cineworld is down by nearly 10%. That's after the Financial Times reported that it's considering a company voluntary arrangement. On the foreign exchange markets, meanwhile, the US dollar pretty weak across the board today on that big rise in COVID-19 cases. But the pound, as you can see, is lower against both the greenback and the euro. It's a bit of a risk-off day in the market. In the jargon, the oil price is low as a result of
With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
During the time of lockdown, we recognise that young people among us could be vulnerable and subject to abuse. This is why Amacares, an organisation that advocates against child sexual abuse, is here to assist the vulnerable amongst us. We have lined up an exciting and educative programmes that can be of help to you. Please check out our website on www.amacares.org for updates of programme. Enjoy a live chat with our team members for advice. Our online counsellors are also available to advise you and signpost you to the right governmental departments. You can reach us on 033 01 33 2415 or email us at info@amacares.org. Confidentiality is key. Thank you.
Listen to Reverend David Peterson. And you have to listen. Your spouse can leave you. Your friends can leave you. Your family can leave you. Your next door neighbor will talk about you. But God will never leave you. This and every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m. on the Led by the Spirit program on Starr Radio UK.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that the start of digging the hole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Broadcasting live.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Today is Thursday, the 19th of November, the year 2020. As some will say, in the year of our Lord. And it is the Thursday edition of the morning show from Starr Radio UK. And as I say all the time, as long as I live, as long as I have breath in me, I give thanks and praise to the Almighty God who has kept and sustained me. So what about you? What is your story? I say a massive, massive good morning to you and to your families, your friends and loved ones, even your enemies. We say good morning to them. What did David say? So prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. So if your enemies are not there, how can you enjoy the banquet that has been prepared before you? So every one of them, good morning to you. You love Starr Radio UK, good morning to you. You don't love Starr Radio UK, good morning to you. We love you to bits. I always say share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. And those of you in other parts of outside the world, you know, on other planets, those in space and all that, we say hello to you. Those in the International Space Center, massive good morning to you all. I don't know whether it's morning or afternoon, because the speed at which you go around the earth or the moon, whichever you go around, I say a massive good morning to you all and welcome to the program. It is the Thursday edition. As I said, of course, I am Archie. Now share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. To my colleague, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. OLAYOMI, wherever you are, good morning to you. Hope you are doing good. Havara in Minnesota, Abiose in the US, Mr. Davidson, John Buama, and all you wonderful people who listen to Starr Radio UK. We say good morning to you. Those of you on the African continent, those of you in Europe, Asia, across the globe, those of you who've been listening to us in Australia at this time, we salute you. And the message is still the same. We love you to bits. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Mr. David Kluche, good morning to you. Mr. Malik Dramani Mahama, my brother Kwame, Mr. Theophilus Taiko, aka TT, Dr. Martin, Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin. Good morning to you all. Hope you're all doing great. Welcome once again to the program. Let me say a special good morning to Shina Yusuf. Shina, where are you listening to us from? Good morning to you. Okay, do. Now, if it's the first time of listening to us, this is how the program goes. I'll bring you the quotes for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, and the travel updates. We'll move on from there. I'll bring you the news that is making the rounds. We'll be bringing you some from Nigeria and other parts of the world. But I want somebody to tell me whether this is true or not. Some stories being generated from or coming in from Ghana. The reputable media houses in Ghana, that's Multimedia and aka, let me say, Joy FM, now has come out with this reports, or somebody say investigative report, journalism, that the day that they come out with this information. With the nation general election some 18 days away, the topic of corruption is being amplified in conversation and debate. Now, this was prompted by a series of events in the past week after the corruption risk assessment report on the controversial Japan mineral royalties deal from by the former special prosecutor Mr. Martin Hamidou. The deal was staying with suspected bid rigging, according to Mr. Hamidou, who resigned on November the 16th. He cited interference from the executive and threats due to his anti-corruption investigations. Now, the former SB was also investigating the Director General of the Ghana Lottery Authority, Mr. Kofi Osei Ameyao, who has been in the news for breaking procurement laws and overseeing several infractions there as well. Now, the issue of corruption has overshadowed debates on infrastructure and other concerns, with some social commentators saying Martin Hamidou's resignation will affect the fate of the current government. So we'll be monitoring that story, and I will bring you more on that front. I do think that all these unraveling of corruption that has gone on, one from the Japan royalties deal, and this Ghana National Lottery were purchasing or deals. Now, something that I was trying to I was just sitting there quietly. I said, okay, double, triple, quadruple. Then I said the fifth one. I was lying in bed and I was just thinking about the whole thing. The 5 pole, 6 pole, 7 poles, 8 pole. Now, you look at all this. Do you think it's going to affect the fate of the current government? And if it does, will all these people who have been caught up in these scandals be investigated? And if that should be as well, who should be appointed to see to that? And would that person be protected? This and a lot more we'll be having a look at. It's now 10:40, so don't you go away. And today we're going to be having an extended program. So we're going to be finishing about 1:15. Let me put it that way, because we're going to be having a special press conference interview with some concerned Ghanaians in the USA in view of the seemingly unrest that is taking place in Ghana at the moment, and the upcoming election that will be taking place on the 7th of December. So wherever you are, don't you go away. Just stay with me. Spend just one moment with me. Okay, so the quote for the day says, we cannot blame our failure to live our dreams on a lack of time. We must learn to make time in our days to live those dreams. We cannot blame our failure to live our dreams on a lack of time. We must learn to make time in our days to live those dreams. A wet or wise is always good enough. Okay. Now, when it comes to the weather front, today, the weather in the UK is going to be quite cooler than it's been in the past few days. Well, we're going to be having daytime temperatures as low as up to about 10 degrees. And therefore, we know that, yes, winter is knocking at the door. So, he said this afternoon we'll see cloud and showers gradually giving way to some bright or sunny intervals, turning chilly, my apologies, after sunset with clear spells, winds easing. Tonight, a mostly clear, dry, but cold evening. We'll also be largely dry and cold with clear spells, although cloud cover will increase from the west before dawn. Temperatures will be tops 10 degrees, the lowest 1 degree. UV level is going to be low, pollution is going to be low. Sunset is going to be at 16:05 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:26 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today. Thursday, the 19th day of November, the year 2020. We'll take a quick commercial break, and once we come back, I'll bring you the travel update. So stay tuned, don't go away. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. So we're keeping updated. I promise I'll be on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. It's not 10:44. So what's happening on the travel this morning? Now on the underground this morning, Hammersmith and City Lines have got severe delays. I'll bring you details of that. And as we know, Waterloo and City Lines have still got planned closures. The other side, all the others have got good service. So what are the causes of these severe delays on the Hammersmith and City Lines? Severe delays between Liverpool Street and Bracken due to an earlier signal failure. Tickets will be accepted on local buses. Good service on the rest of the line. But check before you leave, of course, as I say all the time. Now on London Overground, TFL Rail, DLR, London Tramlink, good service there. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated, I promise I'll born. On the riverbank this morning, apart from the Woolwich Ferry, that has got good service, all the rest suspended or planned closures there. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. And we'll keep you navigated, I promise I'll born, as we say all the time. Every 10:40 onwards, bringing you updates from your travels. Now, on the National Rail this morning, Southwestern Railway has got minor delays. Southeastern Special Service Transport for Wales, minor delays there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll bond the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. I'm moving on to the major roads in London. My apologies. Now, A10 had got closures, A13 closures, A2 closures, A23 closures, A3 closures, A4 closures, Central London Red Roads closures, and South Circular A205 closures there as well. That aside, all the others, no exceptional delays. So I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be. You want to share with us what your travel is like? Feel free to do so. We are a worldwide radio station and we are able to share it with everyone in your community. What about that? So I say enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Star Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Welcome back to the program Star Radio UK, the station, the morning show. It is your place that you are. You're not locked on the wrong side at all. You are at the right place. So wherever you are, stay tuned and don't go away. It is Star Radio UK, the Thursday edition of the morning show. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones, as I said earlier on, and invite them to like our pages as well. And those of you on other platforms as well, share. Those of you on YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, and all the others, share the links with your friends and loved ones. Okay, let me say good morning to my listeners in Liberia, in the West African area, who listen to me all the time. I salute you all, and I hope you're all doing good, having a good day, isn't it? Yes. Good morning to you all. Special morning to HRH Linda Palian all the way in Cyprus. Lady, I hope you are feeling good and doing great. Now, Cleopatra Kekula, wherever you are, massive good morning to you. Cleopatra, where are you watching us from or listening to us from? Cleopatra, lovely name. Okay then. Yes, now let's move on to the stories. Anthony M.S. Fofana. Anthony, good morning to you as well. Okay, now let's move on to some of the stories making the round this morning. Let's try to see what it's all about from here. And like I put across earlier on, I was asking that the corruption scandal that has erupted from Ghana 18 days before the elections. I mean, a few days on, we had the Japan royalties deal that was investigated by the special prosecutor, who has now resigned due to his, as I said, threat on his life, and you think that the executive was interfering with the investigations. Okay, now we have a further story that has broken that pertains to the Ghana National Lottery, where some machinery that they bought, oh God, I was listening to it yesterday. I was like, okay, maybe it is a past distant documentary thing that they're doing, blah blah blah. I just came in and I asked my colleague, I said, is it a past thing or is it a current thing? He said, wow, it's something that is just unfolding. It was one of the issues or stories or scandals that was being investigated by the special prosecutor, and now one of the reputable stations or media houses in Ghana has come out with it. I mean, trying to dig. Now, it is a question that I'm asking now. With all this scandal brewing, should the incumbent win the election? How will you say it? Is it by way of sycophancy, where we follow blindly. And like we were saying yesterday, even if a dog is cladded in what they call it, MPP or NDC colors, and they just vote for him. It's been a trend. I mean, you look at what happened in the US, where we had President Trump, people just voting for him, and even making a statement that even if I take a gun, that was in the 2016 election campaign, he said, if I take a gun and I shoot at somebody, I will still have people supporting me. What about that? So is it a state that we've got into now, that whatever is going on, people don't care about it? This is where I was born, or this is who I support, and they go on. I mean, whether they are blindfolded by whatever they are getting or what. Let me say morning to Emmanuel Zawolo Sendolo. Emmanuel, good morning to you. Hope you are doing great. Thank you very much for joining in as well. Captain Tete, Felix all the way in Aberdeen, massive good morning to you. Hope you are all doing good. Ekweji Tete as well. I salute you, lady. Thank you very much for your support all the time. But now let's look at some of the stories that is making the rounds here in the UK, and we'll come to all those other stories that I've talked about. Interesting times. What would the government do to the government in Ghana do to maybe regain or maybe get some of its image back? Because everybody saw that, well, they're coming in and they are going to whip or crack the whip and make sure that anyone who is some way, somehow corrupted will be fished out and face the full rigors of the law. I'm yet to see or hear if any one of them has received anything of the sort. Choi is November Queen. Wow, Choi is November Queen. Choi, were you born in November then? Okay, or you are just a queen for November. I want you to be queen all the time. All right, Choi, so good morning to you wherever you are. And a few people still joining in. The Carly, good morning to you. Also, continue to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Now, when it comes to the UK front, military to get bigger spending boost in 30 years. The Defense Secretary says it will make sure the armed forces do not fight yesterday's battles. Which are yesterday's battles? What are they talking about? And then interestingly, Oxford COVID vaccine encouraging in older adults. The phase 2 trials result raise hopes that a jab can protect age groups most at risk from COVID-19. So we're getting there. But the question once again that I've been asking since the beginning of the week has been, my apologies, has been whether we should let Christmas just go on, because the sage has been saying that, well, if we decide that after the 2nd of December, the lockdown is eased and we get back to our normal ways and blah blah blah, and let's say we're going to be having some nice Christmas where we're going to be like same old having family gatherings and all that stuff going on. They're saying for every day that will take, it will cost us 5 days. So looking at 5 days for the whole Christmas festivities and stuff like that is going to cost us 25 days. Okay, so that means in January, we're going to have 25 days of lockdown. Now, will you prefer that to just having a normal Christmas? I mean, not normal, but in this situation where we're going to be going, I mean, you cannot see everybody that you want to see. You cannot gather in churches the way that you really want to do and have your Christmas parties and all the communities that come with it. Do you actually think that that not having that will ruin anything for you, or are you ready to go through another lockdown after Christmas? 25 days more of a lockdown. What do you think about that? I want to have your take on all this, because it's something that is quite interesting. And the other question that I want to find out from you, again, I'm asking a few questions here, is pertaining to the COVID vaccine that has been discovered, that those which are in their final stages, those who are in the second stages, has been said by the Oxford University's research team as well. Now, are you ready to take the vaccine? Because there seem to be lots of false peddling of false information on social media platforms, where all these conspiracy theories and some chips, whatever this vaccine contains. Some are saying, I'm talking about some chips that when you take the vaccine, that means that you've been chipped, and whatever things that you are doing, you are being monitored, and that is like that. Those who are religious, the number of the Antichrist, that is a 666. So you take the chip, you take the vaccine, that will be chipped, and all that stuff. So I asked myself the question, are you ready to take the vaccine? I have a doctor friend who said, he suffered COVID during the early days, I think in April. That way he suffered, seriously. It's the grace of God and the help of medicine that actually saved him. And he was advocating that we should take it. We should take it. But I'm asking you, would you take it? Would you take it? It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So military to get bigger spending boost in 30 years. And an Oxford COVID vaccine encouraging in older adults. And Christmas socializing poses substantial risks. Those are the three stories that I'll be bringing to you from the UK front. But it is Starr Radio UK. Now, when we go to, after the music break, we come back and we go to Nigeria. APC blames absence of membership register for crisis among, my apologies, among chieftains. And then NDLEA intercept man with 12.05 kgs of cocaine. Now, President Buhari, aware of APC's membership registration exercise, Governor of Bonny says, and then APC should be prepared to tolerate Umahi's excesses, ex-commissioner has said. But yesterday, again in the evening or late afternoon, I was watching a CNN, and they were also doing some reportage from Nigeria, where this Lekki Gate shootings that took place. Now, you could see images. You could see graphic images of the soldiers or the military who were there shooting, firing, which they were saying that they were firing into the air. Okay, into the air. So it was virtually a warning shot, sort of. But you look at all those videos, and you see that no, some were shooting at the protesters. And when I talk about the fact that a day before yesterday, they were supposed to have a the South governors of Nigeria having a meeting, which have been organized by the presidency or the federal government, yet that didn't take place because some people they didn't take it serious. One of those things, the rest rubbish did and decided not to attend. Those who attended, one person who attended came in virtually when the meeting was supposed to be closed or closing. So you ask yourself all those questions and you say, what exactly is going on? So the CNN was saying that they think the government forces or the military actually undertook those shootings and nothing. I remember one of the protesters who was shot dead, and his family were looking for him. Another picture showed that this man had been found. The timing of the shooting and everything, this guy was found dead. So you look at all those things and you look at African leaders and you look at what is going on exactly, and you get yourself very, very worried. Very, very worried. Maybe I am, when it comes to issues like that, maybe I am a bit, I'm not optimistic. I'm a bit pessimistic when it comes to security and criticizing government and all that stuff when it comes to Africa. But what do you think about all that? We'll be having a detailed look at that in jiffy. But like I said, today is going to be having an extended program because at 1 o'clock we'll be taking you straight to the US, where a press conference interview will be taking place here with some concerned Ghanaians in the US pertaining to the upcoming elections in Ghana. But we know that Burkina Faso is going for elections. I think it's today or tomorrow or whatever it is. I'll bring you the details of that. Solomon Davis, good morning to you. Vafi A. Kamara, Seku Damaru, and Emmanuel Zendolo, I say massive good morning to you all. Continue to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. So let's take this song, The Believer's Anthem by Frank Edwards, and enjoy it. I'll be with you. Stay tuned. Don't go away.
best radio show.
As I dey sleep, as I dey do my work, may the name of Jesus dey for my mind. Oh, your name is great, your name is mighty, your name is bigger than what the people say. Your name is kind, your name is love, your name supersedes everyone that I know. Holy, 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 holy. Yeah. The name of Jesus, the name of Jesus. Holy, 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 holy. The name of Jesus, the name of Jesus. Jehovah, I want to sing my praise. Jehovah, I throw my salute. On the man in my mind. When you will give me a man. I want to sing my praise. I throw my salute. Yeah, on the man in my mind. When you will give me a man. My love, my life, my creator, my maker. Everything that I am, everything that I have is you. You be God, you be King, you're the mighty in battle. You made me just like you are. Hey, my God, you reign up forever, you will be. Yeah. You are the most high God. You never fail. My life I give to you. In you, Lord, I put my trust. Your name is great. Your name is mighty. Your name is bigger than what the people say. Your name is kind. Your name is love. Your name supersedes everyone that I know. Holy, 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 holy. Yeah. The name of Jesus. The name of Jesus. Holy, 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 holy. The name of Jesus. The name of Jesus. Jehovah, I want to sing my praise. Jehovah, I throw my salute. On the man in my mind. When you will give me a man. I want to sing my praise. I throw my salute. Yeah, on the man in my mind. When you will give me a man. Sees everyone that I know. Holy, 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 holy. Yeah. The name of Jesus, the name of Jesus. Holy, 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 holy. The name of Jesus, the name of Jesus. Jehovah, I want to sing my praise. Jehovah, I throw my salute. On the man in my mind. When you will give me a man. I want to sing my praise. I throw my salute.
All around the world. In your car,
At work,
at home.
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome.
Holy, 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 holy. Yeah. The name of Jesus, the name of Jesus. Holy, 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 holy. The name of Jesus, the name of Jesus. Holy, 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 holy. The name of Jesus, the name of Jesus. Holy, 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 holy. The name of Jesus, the name of Jesus.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Star Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11 minutes past 11. Let me take you straight to some updates from Nigeria whilst I get Mr. Frank David get himself ready to join in the discussions this morning. So wherever you are, don't you go away. Just stay tuned, just stay tuned, just stay tuned. Now, when it comes to stories pertaining to Nigeria, like I said, yesterday night, no, it was yesterday evening when I was watching some news updates from CNN, and they were investigating the Lekki toll gate shooting that took place. And I can tell you, if government or the military is in denial of shooting at protesters, then they might have a proper explanation. But this is pictorial evidence that I'm talking about, graphic. And I saw people who have been shot, who have died, and it's quite worrying. But well, government says, well, we didn't do that. And the government says, let's organize a meeting. And the meeting that they organized as well, they decided not to be part of the meeting. They didn't attend the meeting. Virtually, looking down on the meeting or looking down on the people in the South, who were involved in this NSAS and the police brutality protest that took place. But some updates coming from Nigeria. Phone subscribers increased by 54.2 million in 5 years. So if you are in the phone industry there, I bet you'll be laughing all the way to the bank. And then channel complains to our office, not social media. Okay. The FCT Health Department advises residents understanding Nigeria's obsession with Rawlings by Azu Ishekweni. I'll bring you some details of that. Rawlings is the just past ex-leaders of Ghana, former President Rawlings, who was the first president for the Fourth Republic in Ghana, who lived until sometime last week when he passed on. I think it's exactly a week today since he passed. I think so. Yeah, a week today he passed. But Nigerians are obsessed by. Why are they obsessed by him? Okay, and then some other story. Lagos government calls for identification of missing dead persons during NSAS protests. Now, where are those people? And I remember during the protests, Mr. OLAYOMI talking about the fact that people who were looking for their family members who have been shot dead or missing couldn't find them because they said the military took them away because that is their rules. Now, where did they take them to? Have they got a morgue where they go dump all these bodies, or what is happening? What happened exactly? But the story says that the Lagos state government has asked residents of the state or anyone who lost relatives during the NSAS protest to come for identification of their loved ones. This comes despite claims from official quarters that no protesters was killed during the peaceful protest. And I said I can tell you emphatically that that is a big, massive lie, because yesterday, watching that documentary from the CNN, there's no shadow of a doubt that anything of the sort took place. The Nigerian army also insisted that nobody was killed at the Lekki toll gate. Now, despite video evidence and bereaved families' members' testimony, the state government, in a notice from the state, asked next of kin to come with proof of identification of themselves and the missing persons. Adding insult to injury. We'll go on with it, but I've gone with me, Mr. Frank Davis, in the house. Let me go straight to him and let me say, Frank, good morning to you.
Archie, good morning, and good morning to our brothers, our sisters, our families, and our friends, whoever they might be. A special good one to OLAYOMI Koiki, who is not here with us today, but I tell you what, he's doing what he needs to do for Starr Radio.
Yes, doing what he needs to do for Starr Radio, Mr. OLAYOMI Koiki. And once again, we say morning to you. How have you been?
Actually, I've been so good. I've been good.
Okay.
So sometimes you read some of these stories and you want to ask yourself, hey, what exactly is going on? Are we hearing it right? Or probably our ears are wrong.
Yeah. And as I was saying earlier on, I was watching news, CNN, and I saw those things, and I asked myself, even if I am somebody who is so biased, now watching that, I will shut up. Because the evidence was glaring. You could see the shooting. And say when they come to, the Western world with all this advanced technology, they are able to pinpoint the timings of everything that was going on. And they've done all those things, giving you the sign where the fire, the gunshots were going and the direction that they were going, and people who were found dead after that, and also the government is still in denial.
That's alternative funds that they are providing you. And once they have the media to, to back them out, they tell you falsehood, and they get their media people, push them, pay them to tell out the falsehood until it becomes acceptable, and that's what they will do. Most of the official reports they will produce will be false. They were fraudulent, but that is why they produce. What can they do? And they have control over the system. That the prosecuting authorities are under their armpit, the media to speak genuinely and under their control. Whoever authorized, so basically it's a web of what called falsehood that is strung out to the public out there. You realize, you see, then you realize what is they are saying. It doesn't make sense. The evidence is just like this. Okay, you shot a man dead. They saw you with a gun. You said, no, I wasn't holding a gun. Recently we saw in Ghana, guns were, were told that the custom officials
confiscated it.
Within a few minutes, a few days, they told us they are not guns, but they are gas. You ask yourself, you ask yourself, are you telling me that the custom officials, those who did the first inspection, were dumb?
They've not seen guns before. They can't identify what guns
are. Their competence level is in question. That even those who examine those guns are not qualified to even know what a gun is or is not. Sometimes they think we're stupid. They put some of this information. CNN were not there, but see the way they've been able to do painstaking investigation to be able to unravel. And that is how institutions should be held to account. But which media house dare do it in Nigeria? They will bomb your media Or they will close you down. That's the way they did the other time. What Mahama was going to speak somewhere, they disconnected their network. Ebusian FM.
Really?
Minutes to the time, minutes to the day. I mean, the network went off. You see, abuse of power.
Oh God, Africa. Africa. But listen to the statement that the governor of the Lagos state is saying, like, you people, you can come and identify the body. Meanwhile, they said nobody died, But when you are coming, bring your own identity and bring the ID of the person you are coming to identify as well. I mean, it's sad when we see things like that. We virtually, like you said, where the judiciary, the security, and everybody, the media, the big media houses who make much noise and who have lots of coverage are all in their pockets, and therefore it's difficult for the common citizens to be represented fairly.
Yeah, that is exactly the problem we do have. That's the problem we do have in our country, where the media's job is actually supposed to speak truth to power. Over here, you see Paranormal will even do a program and actually question the prime minister and other things. But in our kind of thing, they can't do it. I mean, you see people like Paul Adomachiri, who will be more of a comedian on trying to explain things that he does not understand, just to please the government, just because he's being paid to do it. And you question the independence of media. And media is said to be the fourth arm of what they call government. For strategic reason. The strategic reason being that you interface between authority, officialdom, and the citizen. Now, when the media misses its own responsibility and ceases to act on behalf of the public and the citizens suffer. And that's exactly what you see, what is happening in Nigeria now. No one should tell me that the state media should not be in a position, or couldn't have been in a position, to gather evidence. The people, the men and the women who can do that credible investigation are all there. But do they have their own conscience? Can they go there, work, and say, oh, we have our own conscience? Yesterday, the investigation piece that Joe FM did, for instance, they're going to have a bit of backlash. We already understand they've been taken to court, trying to frighten them. And who are the courts? Because the court is also staffed by what they call it, a large number of people who are paid. And no one should tell me I'm basically lashing them for that. There's evidence that they take bribe to do the biddings of what they call their political masters and people who pay them. But actually, it's a culture that politicians tend to, not all, some of the politicians tend to use to their advantage. Even Trump, what do you call it, a few days ago was calling on the judges he has appointed. There was a point we're looking at the Supreme Court issue, and we said that one problem the Obama administration did, they actually left a vacuum
for these people to fill it.
They could not appoint. There were lower courts that they could have filled with their own people. Trump came and filled all those, a few thousands of people. And yesterday, 3 days ago, he was basically calling on
those judges to
some of the 3 judges that he has appointed to the Pennsylvania court to help, overturn the results. Are you getting me? The difference over here is that Akufo-Addo will call the judges to overturn results or do something, and they will obey.
They'll do it,
While you do that, and they will obey. In America, it's not going to be like that. They might have their judge, but when the evidence is glaring,
you can't rule against that.
You can't do anything about that. Actually, that's the difference.
Well,
let's say good morning to Adam, who has also joined us by the phone.
Okay, Adam, good morning to you. Hope you are doing very, very well. Okay, now today is exactly a week when former President Rawlings died in Ghana. But Nigerians they've got a craze. So let's see what Nigerians are doing. They're saying that a prophet is not appreciated at home may well be referring to former Ghanaian President Jerry John Rawlings, who died last Thursday from COVID-19 related complications 3 weeks after his mother was buried. Now, Ghana is in 7 days of mourning, but Nigeria is crying more than the bereaved. Now, among Nigerian political elite, there has been a condolences contest, and among the wider public, the outpouring of grief and tribute on social media on social media makes Ghana look like Rollins' distant second home. Now, Rollins' life was a big deal in Nigeria, a very big deal. He was a regular presence in lecture circuits. He was particularly loved by left-leaning Nigerian students and radical politicians. He was also popular among blue-collar workers who would have been pleased to join his army for life at short notice. Now, after a decade of widespread corruption, just rampant in military as it is in civilian rule, public imagination still extols the Rollins treatment as the only practical solution. That is, public execution of anyone found or perceived to be corrupt. So Nigerians are hailing Rollins. He did a great job, and it's something that has to be replicated.
Nigeria went through a period of basically a phase similar to what Ghana went through. Talking about corruption, coup d'etat, the overthrow of Nkrumah, the experience that Busia and the people brought to Nigeria when they were in Ghana. Nigerians saw what was happening, and again, when Jerry came, they know how corruption was endemic, the difficulty that people had. You see, if you look at the time, Nigeria, there was a point just after our independence, Nigerians trooped to Ghana. When Buzias and others took over from 1967 onwards, we saw Nigerians being told to go back. Now, there was a period in our history again between 1978, 1979 to 1980 that way. Ghanaians, I recall even my dad wanted to go to Nigeria. I wanted to leave to Nigeria. Nigeria became a home. Now you look at why were Ghanaians trooping to Nigeria. It was because even milk, children's milk, was being rationed on the table. You can't get even common sardine to buy. To even buy tinapa and other things, you need to bribe tinapa. Geisha. You need to bribe, what do you call it? Someone
to go and get it.
Kalabule was the order of the day.
Yes, Makwala International.
That was the I mean, sometimes when people talk about what brought certain uprising, we forgot, or we easily forget about what you call it. The ingredients that sowed those seeds. Are you getting me? Because something happened before there was an uprising. Nigerians bear witness to this. They saw all this happening. When Jerry stood up and actually intervened, they heard him. Do not forget, that was when Abacha and others were also ravaging Nigeria and raping their resources. Like, as we speak now, Abacha in his grief is still coughing up money. Switzerland is still bringing Abacha money. America is still bringing Abacha. It tells you how and them. And one thing, Jerry, for instance, never behaved like the way the likes of Abacha and others did. It is on record that Kweku Bakun, even after when Jerry left the scene, was sent out by the Kufuor government to work with the foreign to
investigate
not even a single account that belongs to Jerry Kubefa. He held what they call certain principles, and those stood the time. Nigerians identify with that. They said, if only we could have gotten someone like Jerry to wipe out the lives of Abacha, the life of Babangida, and those who actually came to steal for their family, probably Nigeria will be better off. That is why you even see in certain a lot of Nigerians today still hate Trump, because they think they needed a radical figurehead that will be able to shake the system, change the way things are done, and it shouldn't be politics as usual. So Nigerians have always heard, Rollins. I told you the day Abacha died, we jubilate.
You don't know. I thought I was dreaming.
I was at Legon by then. Abacha, we started running from what do you call it, the gate all the way to Central Caf. The whole campus was delayed because we had a lot of Nigerian students amongst us at that time. So actually, sometimes the life you live, you have to make, you have to decide what you want. You can make a name differently. Today, as we speak now, those who are corrupt will make names that they are some of the richest people in the society because we do not question their source of wealth. Some also have the opportunity and say, okay, I want to live by certain principles and moral and ethical values, and they will stick to that. Each and everyone will have to decide which one they want to pursue. There's only one way, that if you are caught, you'll be in trouble, which is what a lot of people are doing now. Listeners will have to make up their mind. But Nigerians will forever hail Rollins. There are no two ways about that.
But you know, Rollins, Abacha became Rollins' friend, you know?
Yes, Abacha became Rollins' friend, but he didn't have the power to investigate him. Leaders will always become friends with leaders.
Of course.
You know, leaders will always become friends with leaders. So whatever happens, they will become friends. I mean, if you look at even Yadema today, foreign Yadema, his father was not a friend of Rollins at all. Rollins supported, or Rollins is close to Olympio. But Rollins still deals with the other time, he was a few months ago, he went and laid a wreath at what they call it, the gravestone of Kojovi. I mean, he's someone that he's close to. He worked with the president. Once he's a leader of the country, you have no option. You need to work with him. You might not agree with them. You might not agree with everything that they do, but you still do work with them.
Okay, listen to Star Radio UK. Well, I mean, a panel. Good morning, and Jay Nyenati Baidu. Jay Nyenati, that's a lovely name. This is the first time of me hearing that name. Okay, I hope you are doing very well. Thank you very much for joining us as well. Good morning to you all. Randolph Pusdino Wale and Dennis Brooks, good morning to you all. Continue to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Now, this afternoon, there's going to be an extension of the program today, but I will let Frank talk about it. Press conference interview, and what is it all about? Who are we going to be having on that show?
Yes, we know this coming Saturday concern Ghanaians. You know, an upcoming election in Ghana. We do have a few days to go. Today is the 19th. Which means technically
we have 18 days.
We've got exactly 18 days to elections. And a group of Ghanaians calling themselves Concerned Ghanaians. In fact, actually, Concerned Ghanaians have they've changed shape and form. Today, it will be Concerned Ghanaians in Ghana. Tomorrow, Concerned Ghanaians in Europe. Concerned Ghanaians in... But I mean, that name carries on. Leadership changes.
Concerned Ghanaians remain the same.
The objective remains the same, which is the most important thing. And your objective is to help bring peace, development, and prosperity to Mother Ghana. So this afternoon, we're going to be speaking to one of their leaders, one of their current leaders. On Saturday, there's a major press conference that is happening at Capitol Hill, Washington. And it's going to be about Ghanaians trying to speak to authority in power about the upcoming election. We're going to be joining from, people, it's going to be a virtual one. We're going to have a group of people at Capitol Hill, close to what they call it, where the seat of government is. We also understand that there's going to be a congressman who will also be participating in that press conference as well. And they are calling on Ghanaians and they are sending messages that, look, whatever happened, there must be peace, there must be what they call it. We are brothers and sisters. It doesn't mean that you belong to MPP, NDC, and therefore we should go for it. And again, our understanding is that there are a few things they've also identified that they want to draw the public attention to, because peace cannot just be abstract. Peace must be based on certainty. So if we go into a competition and you're going to play football, you are a referee, and probably the ball that is penalty time, and the ball that when Bolton is going to kick, you place the ball there. When Arsenal is going to kick, you deflate the ball a bit so that it does not have the same effect when they kick it.
When they kick it,
that will not be fair. As if the supporters find out that that's exactly what you are doing, they might not accept that result, and that penalty kick, if you don't take that, you referee might not leave the. So we're going to be having Solomon Usu at exactly 1 o'clock, who will be our guest to speak to us more about the event tomorrow. That's going to be at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. So we're going to have it.
Let me add, tomorrow we're going to be posting some information on our social media handles. Tomorrow there's going to be a major event, and Starr Radio is proud to be part of what is happening tomorrow. The Africa Center for the Scandinavian with EDU are organizing an investment forum. We're going to be having the likes of Dr. Prince Kofi Klujesin of Celtel Network. We're going to be having Mleswa of what do you call it? One of the, I think, I'll get a profile right, but it's one of the top farmers in Zimbabwe. One person who benefited from the land reform now works with the white, and a major, I mean, woman is a power broker in when you talk of agriculture in Zimbabwe. We're going to be having Professor. Let me get the list for you, but we're going to have a huge profile of people tomorrow, so people can still register. It's free to register. I think we limited to about 1,000 people, and so far there are about 800.
So
and
limited spaces.
Yes, limited. That if you want to participate in the event, there's going to be a preliminary what they call it, what they call panel session where you can ask questions. Basically, this organization want to do development in a different way. Money has been set aside to invest in businesses in Africa. But they don't want to go to government, but they want to partner the private sector
directly.
Directly. So that is what the forum is about. So tomorrow the forum will just unveil what are they looking for, what are their expectations. If you're a business in Africa, what do they expect you to do? And then on the other hand, the Africa arm will also be selling to them what Africa is able to do. So the theme is Africa is ready for business and prosperity. We'll circulate those details, and people who want to register can register, but it will be live from 12 o'clock on Starr Radio. So those of you listening, both video and audio, it will be live on Starr Radio Network.
Yes, it's going to be live, and it's going to be a continuation on Saturday as well. Okay. But make sure that you go register. You want to contact us, you can contact us. Send us a line, either text or WhatsApp, 0753966174, 0753966174, and we'll give you the links and things that you need to do to get yourself involved in that. It is Starr Radio UK. Let me acknowledge Amadou J. Diallo and Dario Spears Chimix Dre, and then Joy C. Dix, wherever you are. Good morning, so to you. It's 11:36 from the House of London, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing us to some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK before we go on to other stories. Now, interestingly, I did talk about the COVID vaccine that Oxford University has also virtually in the second stage. They passed the second stage now, so virtually in the third stage, and said that it's going to be very good for the most vulnerable group, our older adults. Let me put it that way. And we are looking at the Christmas socializing that is going to be posing substantial risks. That's what the experts are saying. So we know that the vaccines, though they are still in preparatory stages, we've not started administering the vaccines on people, so we've not gotten there yet. So if anything, we are looking at maybe sometime next year, call it maybe February, March, thereabout. So during this winter season, we're going to be having big time. Now, kudos to Oxford University, but Christmas socializing, that's where the concern has been. Now, people are pushing that let's after the 2nd of December, when the restrictions are eased, let's get back to it, let's have a normal Christmas. But the experts are saying that every day that you have a normal day, going to be having 5 days that you have to have a strict lockdown. If government is looking at 5 days for the Christmas festivities, then we are looking at 25 days of strict lockdown in January. And not only that, we're going to have people being hospitalized and lots of people dying as well. Now, Frank, in your shoes, what do you think should be done?
Actually, it's a trade-off. Yesterday, like we said yesterday, it's a trade-off between what they call it, economy, social life, and a bit of risk. It's basically what any big project manager would do in risk management. You need to weigh the risk. We know that once the lockdown is over and socialization is basically increased, what we're going to see, we're likely to see more people infected. That is the case. Now, can NHS, would the hospitals be ready to manage it? Yesterday again, we recorded over 500 something deaths, which means that the deaths will increase. Are you get me? Are we ready to take that risk? Now, the overwhelming majority are, from where I see it, are saying yes, we are willing to take the risk, because at the end of the day, we want to also be able to go about with our normal activities. And during Christmas period, they also have to look at it. The shops, if they do not allow people to go out to shop during Christmas, is government prepared to actually help the businesses more? Because like we said, they're not going to get the 40 to 50% of the sales they make during this season, but at least it will help them. The online businesses have taken over anyway, whichever way. Now we're still going to buy gifts. If we buy gifts, how do we deliver those gifts? Do we post them?
Or you drop them off?
So it's a bit of a trade-off. Actually, from where I see, I think they will allow it at least for 1 or 2 weeks, and
then we go for another lockdown.
What probably I'm suspecting might happen is that they might extend the lockdown for about a week, up to around the 10th or something, or probably 2 weeks, and then from around the 10th, a week or two to the Christmas, they will allow us to go, and we should expect another lockdown early January instead of February. Early January, they might go for lockdown as well. That's what you should expect. And if that lockdown lasts somewhere up to March, then you look at the vaccine triggering in from
then. So by Easter we should have
Easter, something like that.
Wow, listen at Starr Radio UK. Barack Willie, good morning to you. What do you think if you've listened to us? UK military is to receive an extra $4 billion a year over the next 4 years, and government has said the money will fund space and cyber defense projects such as an artificial intelligence agency and could create 40,000 new jobs. The Defense Secretary Ben Wallace said letting go of older weapons will create headroom to invest. The Ministry of Defense annual budget is around 40 billion, so the 16.5 billion over the 4 years is about 10% increase. So we have some injection coming into the military. However, those on the ground, those, I mean, the normal military, there are some of them who continue to complain. It's like if it were Africa, then we say that the way that they're complaining could bring about a mutiny or something of the sort. But here, because the system is like that, military cannot do much, so they are there. But you see them suffering, and look at what they're going to be using the money for. Sprays and all that.
Because tactically, what do you call it? The future of battle, war, is changing. We're not going to be having boots on the ground when it comes to battlefields like the way we do. The Cold War eras are over. We've moved to a different era where now wars are fought, either cyber wars, and we're going to have a situation where robots will now have to fight instead of human beings. So instead of maintaining a huge army, a contingent of 500,000, you might see that you have 100,000 army, and one commander is able to manage probably about 1,000 robots on the field. So the future, the role of the military is changing gradually. You also then needs to basically retool your army to be able to meet those future challenges. Even the weapons that you are using, the aircrafts that you are using. If you want to use military as one of your bargaining chip, which we know the UK, the US does a lot. They use the military. The military is a business for them. They use it as a bargaining chip. They use it as a bargaining chip. They control territories and they station their armies over. In fact, they call themselves superpowers because they have this military capability. If you are in your country and there are submarines and you're ready to strike your own thing. How many what do you call it, military bases do we have in Ghana? Do we have a navy in Togo?
No.
Okay, but don't we have U.S. military base?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think that U.S. military base, don't they have a tactical, this in weapon station around?
Yeah,
so they will do that. Actually, what the U.S. has done has taken the lead, and I think the UK is catching up. Last year, we saw Russia demonstrating certain sophisticated weapons that have not been seen before. So, and China is also not just sleeping. China is so actually for me, when they spend they're spending the money, they have it. Those of us who do not have the money, that's where the problem is.
Yesterday I was talking to my big brother, and he was telling me, now with all this spending, come next year, then we'll see when we'll be paying through our noses. And I said, well, they have been doing quantitative easing, so they have the money, so they are printing the money and putting it in there. But there is a worry. There's a worry that people looking at all this and saying, look, we are losing our jobs and we are being furloughed and blah blah blah. They are looking at it.
But if they don't invest, the military report will also lose their job. There are people who are manufacturing the weapons. There are people who are going to be producing the robots.
So
it's also a job for them, isn't it?
So one side will be losing, another side will be, but there's still continuity.
So if I've gone to train myself as what they call an IT expert in tactical warfare, cyber security, or probably robotic, weaponry and other things, why should I be made redundant because I don't have Tesco to employ me, or I can't hold a weapon when I can sit in my computer room and even deploy weapons more than the 1,000 soldiers that you have there. If I can sit in my laboratory and deploy what they call a drone that can fire more than the 1,000 people you create, why won't you employ me? So actually, it's about realigning of and looking at the risks that you're facing going forward. If we maintain this army, the numbers that we have, and if we do not change and innovate, are we going to be able to prevent any attack or probably defend ourselves should we be attacked or anything like that? So I do agree with them. They have to spend.
Now my worry with all this advancement and thing is that we're going to get to a point where human beings will not be having jobs to do. We're going to be having more of electronics and
if you are to have a situation where you are being fed, you are not working. All you do is that robots are working
for you, and you get your money. So
don't forget, God did not create us to suffer. The Bible is being fulfilled.
Okay, so far we'll be getting the money to chop. Not that will be made redundant.
Actually, can you just imagine you get home and robots are cooking for you?
Look at when we're doing presentations, and then people are watching us live now on our TV channels. Okay, now earlier on, before this will come on air, you have somebody carrying, that big one that you have to get your whole family to be carrying.
So technology is actually changing a lot of things. A classic example is what you spoke about. If you put a rotary phone in front of someone now, they can hardly know how to use it. You know the rotary phone.
Which one did I press next?
Which one did you press next? And which number? How are you going to use that? Now give timber, what they call yam, to someone to use. Nokia 101. The person will throw it at you. The person might not even know how to use it. Actually, that is technology. So we all need to basically we're improving. Our lives are becoming more easier. I could have managed to be on a phone with my dad if it was this. Can you just imagine COVID time, right? And you all have to go to post office to make a call, right? In the 70s, where you have to go and line up telegram or post office to call someone, and your dad or mom vulnerable, one who's find out if they are doing very well, if they are okay, they have to go and queue at the post office. Sometimes pre-book
books,
to listen to that call. In this COVID, how could you have managed? How could you have managed? It will be practically difficult.
Yeah.
The letters will not be going because the flights are not
going. Yeah.
So actually, this technology is here. Let's embrace it. And people shouldn't expect that, look, because I'm doing this. Once you're doing that, someone is thinking how to make your life more comfortable, how to make your life more easy. And that's what they are doing. Every technology that has come, they've taken more of our money, but it's made life more comfortable.
Well, yeah.
If you look at over the last 10 years, how much you've spent on mobile phone bill, would have bought you a house.
Oh, of course.
Are you getting me?
Of course.
Could have bought you a house.
Of course.
But you have to trade it off. How have those mobile phone bills helped your business? That's the question. Anyway, Archie.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, 11:49 the time, the morning show, the program. Well, it's still happening in the US, but why US spy is feeling so uneasy right now. A series of sacking with rumors of more to come has created a sense of deep uncertainty in the US of A. A series of sacking and appointments with rumors of more to come has created a sense of deep uncertainty around the US intelligence and national security community. Now, while some outside that world have raised fears that this is part of an attempt by the president to hold on to power, many of the inside see it more as driven by a desire for personal revenge and the latest stage of a conflict that has done much to define Donald Trump's presidency. But there remains fear that uncertainty of a divisive transition could hold real dangers. Now, they've been going on. Okay, we'll take a quick break and then we come back and we will have Frank. Okay, my apologies, listeners. Okay, yes, we'll take a quick break and we come back and Frank will try to talk on that issue. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 8 minutes to 12. Now, before we take some music at 12 o'clock, let's have a look at this story that I did touch on. Frank, so now we know Trump is doing everything. Now, some of the those in that industry are thinking that, look, he just preparing himself to still maintain himself in power. There's some other story talking about the fact that he's told his legal team are trying to get Wisconsin to count some of the ballots and others. So are they going to be counting the one that he deems legal and throw others away, or and would that bring about any change?
That is the difference between institutions and personality cult. You see, we cannot have, or the US cannot decide for Trump what to do.
Okay.
But the institution can force him to act when the time is due. His at liberty to explore all the loopholes that he thinks exist. No one can hold him accountable. Although it would have been better if he does things differently, but he chose and has decided to do things in a different way. Now, actually, one thing we do know is that some of the legal cases that they are pushing forward are falling apart.
Most of them
have fallen apart. We know counting in Georgia was supposed to have ended yesterday. So the results seems not to have changed. Now even Trump supporters are calling openly for the Secretary of State at Georgia to resign because they think he did not, or he's not speaking their cause. But this is where individuals put their egos, their party affiliations down and lift the state above their personal gains. He said, no, I am not going to indict, not going to lie about it, and not going to do what is not right. And he has been speaking openly about the integrity of the elections. They discovered some 2,000 votes somewhere. That was an error. That was a one-off error. And so far, the results from Georgia has not changed. When it gets to Pennsylvania, they try cancelling votes from what they call it,
the postal votes.
They tried cancelling some postal votes, and it didn't work. Now what they are talking about is some 8,000 votes. Those ones, the judges have decided to have a look at them, and what they are looking at. It requires that sometimes when you are sending ballot votes, you write your name, your signature on the envelope, not the ballot, on the envelope.
So if there's no signatures on the envelope,
they say those 8,000 votes did not comply to some no signature, some on this, and therefore they should not. But actually, this is neither here or there. The question is the envelope the legitimate ballot or the ballot paper? I mean, there are questions that even lay person would be asking, because the law did not require. The only thing those envelopes were to know when you are sorting them, when you are sorting them out. If they've been able to sort them out and have arrived, that delegitimate the actual ballot that were cast. But Trump hasn't got a stand. I mean, the issue they tried pushing that their people were not allowed. Even the judge that gave 6 feet this thing, they cancelled it. The judges cancelled, the Supreme Court cancelled it. They say no. By law, they were not even
allowed to be in there.
They're not even, so the state, once it is showing that they are not discriminating against one person and they are putting safety issues at first, you cannot fault the state, and you cannot provide evidence. There's no evidence to that all those counting the ballots or all those sorting it out actually have conspired with this thing, and the state.
They're all Democrats.
Even where you have, was it one of these? Is it Detroit or what? No, one of these states. They had, they had to certify the votes county by county, and they had a Zoom certification conference, and there were two. What do you call it? In fact, there are 4 people who were supposed to actually certify. There were 2 Democrats, there were 2 Republicans. Now, the 2 Republicans objected to it being certified. Now, the good thing is that they had citizens that were allowed to watch the event live. You can register and partake and observe. What they did to the Republicans on that, because they were trying to delegitimize their votes. Actually, they took a break. When they came back, they changed their mind to certify that vote.
Oh wow!
Are you getting me? By tomorrow, what do you call it? Pennsylvania will be certifying vote. The other cases that they have filed in Pennsylvania, for instance, now the cases have not been listed on the day. Now they've not been listed for this week, which technically mean that
it's going to be thrown out.
The certification process will go past before they've not been listed for next week. The next time they will be listed will be 10th of September, 10th of December.
By which time they should have certified already.
It's technically a dead end that he is fighting. Are you getting me? And interestingly, the same things that he's fighting, the lawsuits that he's filing, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Wisconsin, the same processes took place in Georgia. And the same process took place in places like Alaska and all places that. Like what they call Ohio.
Yeah.
Are you getting? Even Ohio, Republican, is calling Trump. You can't do what you're doing. He's a Republican. Trump won in his state, but he's openly disagreeing with what Trump is doing. So if you think that this happened in Pennsylvania is unacceptable, you want it to be accepted in Ohio, you want it to be accepted in Florida, where you want, actually it's going nowhere. In my view, Trump is doing, I think Trump might have, I don't know if he's close to Akufo-Addo. He is actually reading from the same hymn book that Akufo-Addo read from in 2012. Who wrote the book? I don't know. All he's trying to do is to create an impression
that the whole thing was rigged against him.
He cannot lose unless he was never defeated, but he was robbed. You know, there are some people who have that mentality. I don't fault them for that. It's a winning mentality.
Yeah.
It can be good.
I have to win all the time. If I lose, that means
it motivates them. It pushes them. But they forgot that losing in itself is not losing, because you might be defeated doesn't mean you've lost out.
Yeah.
I was telling someone yesterday that Trump is missing an opportunity.
Yeah.
If Trump can form a church today, the collection will get 1 week.
He's a chosen one from God.
Are you getting me? No, if he says he's a chosen one, why doesn't he just form a church? The likes of Paula White and others will be some of his. He can absorb those churches and what do you call it? The God is great ministry. Let's make God great.
Make God great again.
Yeah, make God great international ministry. They won't subscribe to it. Are you getting me? Actually, Trump is not going anywhere. But what he's doing is he's making America become a laughing stock.
Yeah.
And actually bringing the image of America down, lowering the high esteem some of us from a distance view America, taking away the legitimate and the moral, what they call credibility that America built for itself over the years as a beacon of democracy. That when issues are happening, they are able to speak and leaders understand and hear them. What Trump is doing is actually dismantling that. Now, who are you to even go and talk? Are you get me?
Yeah.
You don't be surprised if by 8th December, 9th December in Ghana, we hear people citing even it's happening in America.
So yeah. It's sad. It's sad. It's a bad template that he's creating, and then people, especially our people who always have been like that, will follow suit. But we hope to see. Abdullah Koko Cromer, Benjamin N. Berfi, Moki Peter Czech Tole, Francia Zike, Richelieu Israel Wule, and Harrison Gonkawon Pay Senior. Wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon to you all. Now it's now gone a minute after 12, and it is Starr Radio UK, the Thursday edition of the morning show. We're going to be taking a musical break. We come back, we're going to be going straight to Africa. Well, let me tell you some of the stuff that we're going to be looking at once we come to Africa, because it's all unraveling. Burkina Faso ready for Sunday's presidential election. That means Burkina Faso is going for elections as well. Now, interestingly, we have... Okay, let me get a story back. The walls of Burkina Faso capital, Ouagadougou, are smothered in posters as more than a dozen rivals try to win over voters ahead of Sunday's general election. But one color, orange, dominates. It is the campaign color of President Roch Marc Christian Kabore, who is running for a second term, defying criticism of his failure to blunt a jihadist insurgency. Kabore, 63, is a big favorite in Sunday's presidential election. We'll be coming to that. We'll be looking at some of the other competitors on that front. But as I said, we'll declare results on December 8th. the Electoral Commission of Ghana has said. Now, how sure are they when it comes to the collating of those results and saying that, well, we know for sure by the 8th of December, that's a day after the elections, we are going to declare results. At times, even in the US, it took a long time for them to get all the results.
And they are telling now that they are going to use manual gathering. They are now going to do manual transmission. Let's hope. Let's hope.
Let's hope. We'll see what happens.
Sometimes it's good because they don't want to tensions.
To ease the tension.
Yeah.
Well, if the writing is done, we'll continue. We'll be following it. Replace Amidu as early as possible. Ajimendia to Akufo-Addo. Replace him with who? And that's the question that I'm putting across. Some are saying that he should have dug his feet in and continued with the fight against corruption, and dare it even if it has to cost him his life. Now, with the nation general election some 18 days away, the topic of corruption is being amplified in conversations and debates. This was prompted by a series of events in the past week after the corruption risk assessment report on the controversial Japan mineral royalties deal by the former special prosecutor Martin Amidu. Now, the deal was stained with suspected bid rigging, according to Mr. Amidu, who resigned on the 16th of November. He cited interference from the executive and threats due to his anti-corruption investigation. The former SP was also investigating the Director General of the Ghana Lottery Authority, Kofi Osei-Ameyaw, who has been in the news for breaking procurement laws and overseeing several infractions. The issue of corruption has overshadowed debates on the infrastructure and other concerns, with some social commentators saying Martin Amidu's resignation will affect the fate of the current government. But is it going to affect the fate of the current government? Or are people going to be chased out and then, like we do all the time, just paint it or whitewash it and then we'll go on from there? What is it going to be? Yes, we'll be coming to that. But let me get you this tune from Jeduble Ambule. And he says it all. He says, Bonina Dosu. Enjoy it. I'll be with you.
Eja onyame womba for a bread.
Broadcasting live online.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to it wherever you are.
Yes, it is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 9 minutes past the top of the hour. Jeduble Ambule. Bonana dos. But let me announce the lines opened. Like we told you, exactly at 1 o'clock, we'll take you straight to Washington, D.C., where we're going to be having a press conference discussion or interview with one of the leaders of the concerned Ghanaians in the US of A or in the diaspora. So we'll be having him on the program. So don't you go away at all, because we're going to make sure that you hear everything and the concerns that you might also be worrying about. So the lines to call are 0208-133-2257, 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you happen to be living in the US or Canada or the Caribbean area listening to us, you still want to get in touch, yes, call this number 001-718-303-2737, 001-718-303-2737. You can also text or WhatsApp us. The numbers are 07539661744, 07539661744. You want to tweet like Trump? Feel free, tweet at us. Our handle is at Star Radio UK, and our email address is info@starradiouk.com. What's up, Archie? Here with Mr. Frank Davis. Well, let me say good morning to or good afternoon to Nani Bobby, Dennis Doris, Matunji Slokum, Michael Johnson, Harry Gege, and Majua Sun. Good morning to you or good afternoon to you, where depending on which part of the world you find yourself. And this evening exactly at 5 o'clock, or this afternoon, late afternoon at 5 o'clock, we'll be having Charlotte Odum bringing you the renewed show. Make a date with her. She'll be telling you more. We'll be bringing you more details about what you'll be looking at before the program ends. And then from 7 o'clock, we'll be having KD Bossman and Vicky Newton on the Property Hour. But now we are introducing a repeat broadcast for the
BB Means Business by popular request from the listeners. We know a lot of you miss it. Sometimes you'll be at work. So by popular request now, every Thursday at exactly 6 o'clock, the BB Means Business program. We told you, look, this is an entertainment platform, and also a platform that is actually structured to help improve your pockets. What is in your pocket? That's why we bring you programs that can improve on the balances of your what is in your bank account. So BB Means Business, a repeat broadcast comes your way every Thursday at exactly 6 p.m. That program is live every Tuesday at exactly 1:30. By repeat broadcast every Thursday at 6 p.m.
Okay, thank you very much, Frank, for jumping in there to rescue me. But it is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Mr. Kofi Ali, you called, but you've dropped your call. So if you can call us back, yes, make your voice heard. Wherever you are, it is Star Radio UK. We'll be having as many of you who want to join in to join in. Feel free to do so. Okay. All right. I wouldn't go there. We just go on. Prime Minister Boris Johnson says the international situation is more perilous than at any moment. He's in a press conference. Okay, let's cross over there. Let's have a quick listen, and then we come back to you. So stay tuned.
Intelligence agencies and service personnel, which is already operating in cyberspace against terrorism, organized crime, and hostile state activity. And the RAF will receive a new fighter system harnessing artificial intelligence and drone technology to defeat any adversary in air-to-air combat. Our plans will safeguard hundreds of thousands of jobs in the defense industry, protecting livelihoods across the UK and keeping the British people safe. The defence of the realm is above party politics, and we all take pride in how British resolve saved democracy in 1940, and British internationalism, directed by Clement Attlee, helped to create NATO and preserve peace through the Cold War. The wisdom and pragmatism of Margaret Thatcher found a path out of confrontation when she met Mikhail Gorbachev in 1984. In each case, Britain tipped the scales of history and did immense good for the world. Now we have a chance to follow in this great tradition, to end the era of retreat, to transform our armed forces, bolster our global influence, unite and level up across our country, protect our people, and defend the free societies in which we fervently believe. Mr. Speaker, I commend this statement to the House.
I now call the Leader of the Opposition, Right Honourable Keir Starmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and can I thank the Prime Minister for advance sight of his statement. Mr. Speaker, under my leadership, national security will always be Labour's top priority. Britain must once again show global leadership and be a moral force for good in the world, both in how we tackle present and emerging security threats, but also in how we build a fairer, greener and more secure world. So we welcome this additional funding for our defence and security forces, and we agree that it's vital to end what the Prime Minister calls, I have to say with complete lack of self-awareness, an era of retreat. But Mr. Speaker, this is a spending announcement without a strategy. The government has yet again pushed back vital parts of the integrated review, and there's no clarity over the government's strategic priorities. And then there's the question of money. How will this announcement be paid for? Such is the government's handling of this pandemic that the UK has the sharpest economic downturn of any G7 country. Next week, the Chancellor will have to come here and set out the consequences of that. So can the Prime Minister tell us today, will the commitments he's made require additional borrowing, mean tax rises? If so, which ones? Or will the money have to come from other departmental budgets?
Over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program Star Radio UK. The time now 18 minutes past the top of the hour. Like we told you, there'll be going to be an extended version to this, an extension to this program today. So instead of finishing at 1 o'clock, we're finishing at 1:15. Exactly 1 o'clock, we'll take you to Washington DC for a press, for an interview, a pre-press conference interview with one of the leaders of the concerned Ghanaians in the US, and we hope that you'll be part of it. So we don't want you to miss anything. That press conference is supposed to take place coming Saturday, but we'll be having a look at whatever they're going to be looking at before Saturday. So make sure you are still glued to your sets and listening to us on that platform. We took it to the House of Parliament, where the Prime Minister was presenting his case on the cash that is being injected into the military, which we've discussed earlier on. But just to let you know what is going on there, where the Prime Minister has come to give a confirmation that is going to be done. Other questions are going to be following suit, but as and when we have any new information, we'll bring it to the fore. But it is Starr Radio UK. Wherever you are, continue to stay tuned. Now let's go to Africa, where we were talking about the elections that is going to take place in Burkina Faso. Now, the walls of Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou, are smothered in posters. So, how many presidential candidates they have there? But the topmost of them is Kambore, 63 years, who is a big favorite of in the Sunday's presidential election. That is the second term that he is going to during this election. By looking at the insurgency and everything that seems to be going on in that part of Africa, the sub-Saharan Africa area, we have what's going on in Mali that caused them to, after that election, even to rise up, because the government is not fighting against the insurgency there, and plus the fact that they reckon that the election was rigged, and that brought about a change in their governance system. Now, looking at what is going on in Burkina Faso and looking at the candidates, eventually he is the incumbent, seems to be the favorite at the time, which most of the time happens, except in Ghana now that I can't tell who the favorite is going to be. Now, what do you think, or how do you think this election is going to go for the Burkina base?
Actually, for me, whoever they decide to elect is not a problem for me. I'm more concerned about the processes that leads to any election. That is the most important thing for me. If you let a dog, you let a cat or whatever, it's not an issue that we should be concerned about. But if the processes that are laid are genuine and they are okay, that's fine. So far, we've not heard a lot of accusations of the laws being breached and the president trying to muddle his way into power without subjecting himself to the will of the people, and the president trying to prevent others from contesting, like the way we've seen in other parts of the continent of Africa. Talk of what is happening to Bobby Wine in Uganda. You speak of what happened in Cote d'Ivoire, and then you look at the incidents that took place in Guinea Conakry. You will not compare that to what is happening in Burkina Faso at present. Ghana, again, we've had issue where opposition have had a case or a lot of calls, or basically accuse the Electoral Commission of trying to basically be a judge and a referee, and basically playing is like you're whistling from the incumbent's camp. So whatever you do, you only see the fault of others, or you actually try to protect or give them hints as to which board they should hit, which ones are the magnetic ones that can go faster, and which ones are deflated ones. So I just wish them all the best. We know a few years ago the incidents that took place in that country were not anything that we want to see. And then talking about the jihadi situation, the insecurity, looking at what is happening in Mali with Keita, a new president is in place now, but you still have a situation where only last week we even had the French authorities having to neutralize a lot of jihadis over there. And we know Burkina Faso has actually been attacked, and they linked again to those from this, what they call the Mali, looking at what is happening in Nigeria, looking at what is happening in Chad, all linked
the Sahel region,
region linked to Libya. We just hope that this election will go on peacefully, and that the results will be, the process will be transparent. So far, I'm not saying 100%, but so far they've actually be above board when you look at what is happening across across the continent of Africa as we speak.
Well, we hope them. We wish them all the best. We hope that they will come out with a result that will appease everybody. But looking at the stance, I mean, the way Kambore has been handling the jihadist issue, he is thinking that you don't not just going bombing and killing. No, there should be a bit of dialogue there, which I know you always advocate with.
We cannot bomb ourselves out of any situation. I don't believe it. Even Americans did not bomb. They don't kill their way out of Vietnam War. They lost it. Afghanistan is a clear example. I mean, how many bombs have been thrown since the 1980s when Russians? I mean, how many bombs have been? But still, I mean, the Taliban have still not. Be defeated. Completely in that. They go, they regroup, they come back. I get even ICE, as we speak now, we are being to their regrouping. You get me? So I've never believed in bombing our. Yes, military might is okay, but past that, let some dialogue also continue.
Okay, let dialogue continue. Maybe you are somebody who advocates for maybe a peace in every continent or every country. Now, maybe you have a clue of what to be done apart from what we've said, or maybe just to complement what we've said. Why not add a voice to the discussions? Okay, glory, they're gone. Gabon's only circus fight for survivor. New York public schools to close. Ohio imposes curfew. Those are some stories that have been captured there. Morocco carries out work in disputed West Sahara. And that particular area. I remember the Polisario front quite a long time ago. I think that young, just coming up, and I thought that thing has just died down completely. But it started to rear its ugly head up again.
It has not. It's still continues, and actually, wherever there has been this kind of conflicts, it just doesn't go away until probably there's what they call it, a resolution which two people agree to. Look at Palestinian-Israel thing. It's gone on for years. Looking at even the Chechen, in China, in Russia, it's gone on for years. If you look at what is happening, even Myanmar, what happened a few years ago, that problem is not completely solved because the Rohingyas will come back to where they claim is their land. And in few years to come, if a permanent solution is not actually arrived at, which is suitable for both parties, we're still going to have it. Look at what is happening even in Mazuria. So actually, let's take, in my view, it's good. It should be advisable people take long-term perspective to some of these, because you can kill, you might have hold of the territory today. The Israelis took over the Goliath, what they call it, the Goliath Heights and other things. But have they known peace since then?
Nope.
No, it still continues. You get me? I would have wished that when the military actions go, we actually look at how we are able to solidify whichever victory. Sometimes we might win a territory. We might have to give it back in the name of peace for peaceful coexistence. But that seems not to be what the world is comfortable with. We've claimed it, we won it, let's hold on to it.
In spite and despite whatever.
And people rise up to defend and want to fight back.
The net toll from Wednesday's protests against the arrest of Uganda's presidential candidate Bobi Wine has risen to 7. Yesterday we were here when we did announce that. Now there have been dead people who have been shot dead, and from that, and you look at what is going to happen in Uganda come January, when I think they're going for the election, and you think that it's going to be peaceful at all?
Actually, that is exactly that we're talking about, looking at what is happening in Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Guinea Conakry. Now, Museveni, I don't know exactly why he's behaving this way, but increasingly again, from what I know from Uganda, look, increasingly the youth are actually moving away from Museveni. They see a threat in Bobi Wine. He might not win election, but you gather enough votes to be able to press forward some demands. You're likely to see his party members, like we saw in France, emerging to win certain seats. In their House of Representatives. And that is what they're trying to do. But if someone has got to a point where they represent the voice of the people, it might not be everybody in the country. Yes, I do understand, but the support the guy has should tell you that there's a group of people who actually believe in what he's saying. At the end of the day, he came from a ghetto. He lived with these people. Is out of that difficulty as a musician, sang with them, danced with them, and out of what the guys have all been complaining about. Okay, right, let me step forward. Are you getting me? So he represents the voice of the masses, especially the increasing unemployed, desperate youth in Uganda. So don't think you're going to just arrest him and the people will sit down. Throughout history, even Trump, who has lost the election, we see people protesting to defend him. How much more someone who they see as a the next president. He might not win the election because Uganda, the way the terrain is, knowledge, the rural folks would normally Uganda is a traditional society where the rural folks control and have a lot of power. And they have a lot of say. They are respected, and they seem to be in bed increasingly with what do you call it, Museveni. They've known him, they've worked with him for long. So he gets his vote from the rural community, which I do not think for now he will lose this election that is coming. No, I don't see him losing. Actually, I don't see him losing that election.
So if he's not going to lose it, why is he trying to stop Bobby Wine and arresting him and doing all that?
That is the question. That's what I'm saying, that there are certain MPs will go.
And that will weaken his control in the legislature.
In the urban areas. A lot of MPs in the urban cosmopolitan areas are going to go. And that is a problem. That is a problem.
Okay. Listeners, Star Radio UK. 12:30 exactly. Now we've landed in Ghana. We'll declare results on the 8th of December. One of the stories that we'll be looking at. And Joy FM has come out with an investigative piece that reflects on one of the stories or one of the cases that was being investigated by the special prosecutor, the then special prosecutor Martin Amitu. Now, this pertains to some purchases that were done by the Ghana National Lottery. It's a company or corporation, whatever it is. Now, if you listen to the analysis, where something that is supposed to cost tops maybe $230, now being finally now saying that it's about 800 and something. So you look at the percentage, and I was quiet. I was in bed. I was virtually the whole before I slept. I was pondering. I was like, okay, double, triple, quadruple. Now are we now going to say 5-4, 6-4? We've gone beyond it, and you see the scale, the magnitude of corruption issue that is going on, and you ask yourself, are we actually safe? When we say we trust the politicians, so we vote for them to come into power, do we actually trust them that they're going to actually charter the course for our interest, or are they going in for their own personal interest? And our people, let me put this word mildly, if you are listening to me and I use it, I apologize for that before saying that, stupidly following people and just voting for them.
Actually, let me begin this way, that there's nothing wrong in you making a profit from trade. In fact, that is what business is all about. That you are able to buy a product and sell it at a profit. That is what business is all about. So if, for instance, National Lottery Authority is buying point of sale equipment, there's nothing wrong about someone going to buy it and increasing the price a bit, putting that commission on it, and then selling it back to the. There's everything wrong when it's disproportionately abnormal. There's everything wrong when the award of that contract seems to be to be awarded based on chronism. Now look, because I am in charge, Archie, pretend to be supplying me this, inflate the cost of the product, and I will use my executive power and use my connection to approve it so that we share the profit. And that seems to have gone on. Besides, every department that spends taxpayers' money, one will expect that they do a bit of due diligence, which will mean you do not get a quote only from one company, but you get a quote from multiple sources. It becomes even worrying when those multiple sources that you are getting quotes from seems to be people you have actually put there to supply quotes, so that on paper you pretend to have gone through the process that is required of you, but you are actually engineering corruption. Okay. Now, the issue is in court now. But yesterday, Joy FM were actually taken to court that the analysis or neither here or there, we not those who are going to look at the merit of the case in court. The bottom line is, one, did we see evidence of overinflated costs of those point of sale terminals? The answer is emphatically yes. How they award a contract is something they go and do in court. But the question is, if it was my personal money, the chief executive, if it was his personal company, will he procure those goods at those exorbitant prices when the market, even common Google can tell you that, those prices are exorbitant and they are too outrageous? Will you sign off that if it's coming from your money? And it's no, they wouldn't do that. So what motivates them to do it when it comes to the public sector, when it's not their profit money? There's only one thing: their quest to personally benefit, profit from it, their quest to make money and finance the political parties that could have basically put them at that post. Are you getting it? And actually, one thing that is worrying is that disgracefully, some of these criminals, so to say, will stand up, have the audacity, and again be in public domain and be talking like the PPA boss, who is now saying that he joined Akufo-Addo's government to protect public purse. Actually, and our media, that is one thing that I do not understand. Actually, criminals like that, people who have been indicted, cannot have space in the media space to try and be sugar coating their words. No. Here we have the PPA boss, who is publicly was on TV yesterday, right? And is saying, and by the way, this is a man who had 50,000 Ghana in his account as at the time he was. By the time he left office, we are told, and from evidence from the bank statement, millions of dollars over to it.
I'm coming. Kofi, just hold on for a minute. We'll come to you. Let Frank land and then we'll come to your place. Yes.
Look at what is
happening. We're all in the plane, don't worry.
When the chief executive actually gave contract to his son, a company that is registered in Mauritius. Actually, so you have the PPA boss who said, I joined Akufo-Addo's government to protect the public purse. Can you just imagine?
Which pairs are they talking about now? It's maybe not that one.
Let's go to Kofi.
Yes, listeners, Starr Radio UK. Let your calls come through. We have Mr. Kofi Ali who has joined us. Let me say, Kofi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Yeah, doing very, very well. And you?
I'm not very bad. And my good brother Frank, how are you?
I'm doing well, Kofi.
Yes, sir. I want to believe there's a saying that he who comes with equity must come with
clean hands, of course.
And therefore, while we are pointing fingers at others for being untruthful, for being dishonest, have we checked ourselves as well?
When you say ourselves, what do you mean?
Good, thank you very much. What I mean is that First and foremost, every society run on two principles: the individual and the institutions of the state. Is that true?
Yes.
Good. The individual are expected to be very truthful because they work within the institutions. So they must be as much as possible. Of course, nobody is absolutely truthful. As much as possible. Truthful in their personal conduct. And then, because they work within the institutions are also expected to be very, very truthful. Because the information, when we talk about the truth, most of the time is actions from information. So the source of the information, the individuals involved must be truthful with the information. Let's do something. At the beginning of this discussion, there was this issue that came out of Nigerian demonstration, recent demonstration.
Yeah.
This demonstration, I tend to ask a question because we must be truthful about that. Is it a demonstration? Is it a protest? Or is it a riot?
Because as far as we're concerned, from our knowledge, it was a demonstration. Like the way we always say, when there's a demonstration, I may call it is a demonstration, a protest, okay? And you expect people to behave rationally, but like what says, there's an invisible force, which normally Karl Marx will tell you, social force, that when people anger, they get on the street, they try to demonstrate, they protest. Sometimes they try to behave insanely. So we have a social theory that will explain the behavior or some of the excesses that we see on the street. Not justified, but again, you can't blame them completely.
Now, let's come back. You see, sometimes it's not what happened that is the problem. It's our reaction to what has happened that can become a problem. Is that not true?
Like the way we saw in Nigeria.
In this case, the young people who went out, they started with SARS, which is bringing us to the difference between what is a riot and what is demonstration.
Yeah.
Right? And what is protest. Now, you see, between demonstration, protest, and riot, there is the protest in the middle can turn the whole thing into riot or maintain it as demonstration. When you are demonstrating, all you want to do is to pass a message, simple message that we disagree with A, B, C, D, and we want something to be done about it. That is demonstration. It happens in this country every week, almost every day. When you are protesting, it's a demonstration that could go both ways. So what you are doing is you are protesting. You can protest and add riot to it, or protest and sustain it as demonstration. Again, you are in the middle. Now, when you allow your emotion to take over you, for whatever reason, and it becomes emotional act, and therefore you start destroying property and threatening lives, then there must be a reaction so that the thing will be under control. And sometimes that reaction could go too far and lead to death. There's no government in the world that you go about and allow your emotion. When you allow your emotion, you are just as good as armed robbers. Because armed robbers are people who want to do things their way. Not by law, but by their version of the law. And therefore, they become lawless. And when you are lawless, then there must be some sanity. Do you agree with me?
We're listening.
And therefore, those of us who are talking about this problem sometimes are not doing that very well.
People are entitled to different opinions. So now, what we can do is to express our own opinion and then leave it at that.
Now, when we do that, remember, we are out to educate.
Yeah.
We are out to get people to act. This is where the danger is. The reason why we have laws, why we are saying we don't want dictators, we want the law to lead us.
Yes.
All. In Ghana, Nigeria, all across West Africa, and to some extent, well, one will say, well, let's even see what is going on in the US. You are having what we call the rule of dictatorship, a powerful man.
Okay.
The rule of the powerful man is not the same as the rule of the law.
So in coming up, in wrapping up, are you saying the Nigerian protesters were right, wrong, or what? What is your verdict?
Now, you see, a lot of falsehood has come with this particular demonstration.
So in your opinion, do you back them? Do you support them? Okay.
We are aware of those, right? We are aware of those who actually want the separation.
Okay, no, let's not mix the two. Let's not mix. Kofi, hold on. The SARS protest is different from those who have been demonstrating about Dododua and those who have been demonstrating about. Kofi, let listeners get this correct. Let's be clear. There are three things at play over here. The Nnamdi Kano group, the Biafran group, is separate from the Odododowa group. When this protest started, Nnamdi Kano even called on his people not to join. I mean, there was even contemplation from Odododowa area whether they should mix up and support, and the decision was that no, because chiefs are involved and leading some of these separation calls. Okay, so let's not miss the issue between the SARS, the Odododowa nation, and Nnamdi Kano. So let's limit ourselves to this protest. Do you support the protesters? If no, why?
I will never support protesters who are engaged in violence.
So in this case, you don't support the Nigerian protesters?
In this case, we had buses being set on fire.
Okay.
We have, well, I don't believe in monarchies. We have the Oba Palace looted. We have shops looted. We have people violently attacked.
Okay, and finally, what is your opinion about the way the government responded to the protests and the way the military acted?
Both of them, like you rightly said, are telling us lies. None is being honest with us.
Okay.
The media are dishonest in coming out to tell us exactly, because the problem is complicated. This problem, there is economic issues there. Children that have been abandoned, nobody care about them. Jobless people, they all join. So it's not actually about the SARS. The SARS is about security forces that are abusing their role, ending armed robbery, and then kidnapping. That is the SARS. What SARS is all about.
Okay, Kofi, would like to say thank you over there. Kofi thinks right, things could have been done better from both protesters and then the military, and in fact the government itself should have acted quickly on how what they call the security were abusing their position, which led to the SARS. Kofi, is that not it?
But what I'm saying, more important to what I'm saying, the media.
Okay, and the media has to be responsible as well.
The media reportage is the reason why we are where we are today. The media we have is one of the most dishonest people.
Okay, Kofi,
for whatever reason.
Okay, Kofi, we'd like to say big thank you. We got a few 12 minutes to jump into the next phase. We have Solomuso coming, the concerned citizens of Ghana, that will be joining us at 1 o'clock. So we'd like to wrap up and then we'll join them at 1.
On the final note, you see the fire in Accra.
Yes.
Dishonesty. How are we discussing that problem? It will happen again and again and again. On that note, I will hang on.
Okay.
I'll call at another time to elaborate the details of what we don't talk about and pretend is our way of life. From the mosque, the church, the presidency, everyone is a liar. No one going to tell the truth. And if the lies have now become our way of life, it's now our culture. But lies will never stay.
Thank you very much. We're going to play. I'm going to dedicate a song by Zongo Man to you. I think that's the song we're going to end with.
Yeah, no, Zongo like that song.
Yeah, Zongo Man sums it up.
The problem of Africa.
Thank you very much, Kofi. Actually, let's just look at the Ghanaian stories.
Yes, Kofi, thank you very much.
And then we'll cross over to Washington.
Yes. Yeah, listen to Star Radio UK. 12 minutes to the top of the hour, like we announced earlier on. Exactly at 1 o'clock, we'll be taking you to Washington DC, where the concerned Ghanaians leader will be having a chat with us. But interestingly, now let's quickly have a look at. You were talking about the corruption that has been scandal that is virtually going on, and I'm asking the question that: do you think that it's going to impact the fortunes of the ruling government? Because if it's a one-off, okay. But if it's becoming too many of them, another one here, maybe it's been done over a period of time.
But I don't think it will be fair to ask you. I don't think it will be fair. Actually, we said it that the independent would determine what do you call it this election. Kofi has said something about how the media has been. Not even the media. There are people who were actually very vociferous.
Yeah.
When in the past about fighting corruption. Today you ask where are they? You recall kind of royalties are there occupy Ghana.
Yeah.
Where are they? No, where are they? They've all gone quiet. Is it Reverend Manti? Where is he?
And is
he still in Ghana?
He's gone on pension. So.
Actually, independents will make up their mind. But for me, every corrupt act does have impact on the ruling government. And actually, it's going to be difficult for government to defend it. I know they are struggling to basically try to give us reasons that no one will accept for some of these things, but it cannot be. Actually, Nana Akufo-Addo regime over the last 4 years, you can count over 100 scandals that has rocked the administration. Over 100 scandals that have rocked the administration.
Now, is it because people have unearthed them? So we say all the time, when you steal and you are not caught, you are.
That's exactly what has happened.
But unfortunately,
that's exactly what is happening. That's exactly the case. That now they do not have total control of information flow. Now people can now do their investigation. Cameras could capture. Okay, let's take the issue about Hawa Kumsin. Who captured the video? It was a private citizen who captured that video when he shot.
She's fired,
and even if he fired a gun, even that they were giving us an alternative explanation. Had they not been that a citizen had captured that on camera, they would have told you something. Are you getting me? Look, actually, you might be a dog. I might be a cat. Look, I can commit an offense. There are certain things that dogs don't do.
Yeah.
Cats do.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
A cat will do certain things. If there's a cat flap.
Yeah.
And I try going through a dog try
to go through and then
it breaks it.
Yeah.
And they come home and they were asking who actually
broke
the cat.
Like, the cat is the one who has been using it all the time.
It should not be because the cat size goes through it, but the dog tries stealing itself and then they throw the cat. But you know what they'll do? The dogs will come and back. Whoa. He's the cat. They'll give you an authentic explanation for that. So actually the media landscape has changed. The flow of information is changing. The way people went Baumia, for instance, another classic example, when Dr. Baumia went on a stage and decided to showcase what the government has done with over 140 billion that they have borrowed.
Yeah.
He demonstrated a lot. He showcased toilets, he showcased what they call roads, school blocks, hospitals that have been built, right?
Yeah.
What did citizens started doing? They went out trying to
check, verify.
Roads were being videoed that nothing has been done but has been captured. What did they come to say? The way they were misled. If we were not having an opportunity, or citizens do not have tools at their disposal to be able to record such things and be able to circulate them rapidly, how are we going to check some of these people?
Yeah.
So if technology is changing the landscape, okay, it's changing the landscape of how information flow. Now governments will not have total control. Now, Joy FM might have showcased something yesterday.
Yeah.
Look, Archie, years back, if we do not have a good television with a cable satellite, a satellite being that might cover half of our compound, we wouldn't have gotten it. But now you don't need to do anything. A click of a button on your mobile phone, you can see.
Yeah.
That is how information, sharing of information is becoming very fluid. Are you getting me? So, independence will make up their mind. They would have had access to more of information that they had 5 years ago. Okay, they will have more information. And people who call themselves independent will make up their mind based on evidence, based on facts. Someone is issue of corruption, someone is provision of electricity in their village, someone is about their job, someone is about they are not able to get their girlfriend, someone is about divorce, things that affects people. Thought process or decision making process varied. We cannot. You ask the question whether it's going to affect the government. Yes, it will affect the government. If, for instance, corruption is what caused me, and do not forget, in 2016, Manasseh, you recall the Ford issue. The Cuba surprise.
Ford Explorer.
Ford Explorer.
It
actually had a negative impact on Mahama.
I remember.
So if people who actually are swing voters and they vote based on not only just perception of corruption, but a demonstration of actual corruption having taken place, actually, at best, they will abstain from voting.
Do you think that the Right to Information Act that was passed has been a contributory factor to this?
No. The Right to Information Act has not played any role in my view about the investigation pieces that we've seen. I don't think so. No, so far we've not seen the impact of that act. Now we've not seen it.
We've not seen it.
Yeah. Okay. In my view, we've not seen it.
And should the president appoint a new special prosecutor now?
Actually, I don't know how legally they are able to do that, because the act that established the special prosecuting office mandates the person to be vetted by Parliament.
Okay.
Parliament is on recess.
Okay.
The acting person, you see, there's a difference between a deputy minister and a minister. The powers that are given to a minister are different
from the one given to the deputy.
That is why even the Ajapa deal, one thing that Martin Amidu was picking on, the deputy minister had no power, authority to commit the sovereign state of Ghana to transactions, international transactions. And that is why you pick up that the agreement that was signed between Mora of South Africa and what do you call it, Minister of Finance, was actually signed by what do you call it, deputy minister. And that is illegal, illegitimate. You cannot comment. So now we might have the special prosecutor, we might have his deputy. They do not have the same powers.
Okay.
Now, so the best you can do is to elevate them to an acting position. An acting position. As it stands now, if the law that established that office is supposed to be taken seriously and strictly, the president cannot appoint a substantive, what they call it,
special prosecutor.
You might be a minister of interior, you are vetted as a minister, that's different. The office that established the special prosecutor is different from what established a minister and all those things. So you cannot just put attorney general go and represent. No, he was vetted, she was vetted as you appointed. That's why you can fire and bring in someone who's a minister. Those capacities are different.
Wow, listeners, 3 minutes to the top of the hour. We'll be bringing a program to we'll be crossing over to Washington DC for that press conference interview. So just hold on for a bit. But finally, before we go now, the EC are saying that, well, the 8th of December will declare the winner or will bring about the results. Now, the question is, even when we've used electronic means to do it, we know that one, it just moves quickly. But doing it manually will take a bit of time to do it, and tabulating and all that stuff. It's going to, so for you to say that we're going to, is it that maybe there's a foregone conclusion that this and this and this, boom. So we've reserved all the results.
We never can tell. Let's wait. We never can tell. Let's wait. So actually, we'll end it here, and we'll get ready to join the team from Washington
DC.
Meanwhile, don't forget your song for
yes.
Kofi Ali. Kofi Ali, we dedicate this song for you. I think you will love it. It's by Zongo Man, and he says the problem of Africa is listen
is
to
the greed. Okay, enjoy it. We'll be with you. We'll be crossing over to Washington, D.C. in a minute.
The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Them all go to universities. Universities award them degrees. Big degrees. Degrees. Big degrees. MSc in stealing. Bachelor of Arts, mismanagement. Masters in looting. MSc in corruption. Bachelor of Science in nepotism. MSc in forgery. Bachelor of Arts in indiscipline. MSc in embezzlement. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Some of them went to London London School of Fools, where they were awarded degrees in foolishness, PhD in stupidity, MSc in foolishness, PhD dishonesty, PhD in recklessness, Bachelor of Arts in selfishness, MSc in greed, BSc maladministration, PhD in quasi-SM, PhD pull him down, MSc Helio donkey. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things.
Universities award them degrees, big degrees, degrees, big degrees. MSc in stealing, Bachelor of Arts, mismanagement, Masters in looting, MSc in corruption, Bachelor of Science in nepotism, MSc in forgery, Bachelor of Arts in indiscipline, MSc in embezzlement. The problem of Africa is daily. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is daily. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Some of them went to London, London School of Fools, where they were awarded degrees in foolishness, PhD in stupidity, MSc in foolishness, PhD dishonesty, PhD in recklessness, Bachelor of Arts in selfishness, MSc in greed, BSc maladministration, PhD in quasi-SM, PhD pull him down, MSc Helio donkey. The problem London School of Fools, where they were awarded degrees in foolishness, PhD in stupidity, MSc in foolishness, PhD dishonesty, PhD in recklessness, Bachelor of Arts in selfishness, MSc in greed, BSc maladministration, PhD in quasi-SM, PhD pull him down, MSc Helio donkey. The problem of Africa is daily. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is daily. Who run things, who run things, who run.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
During the time of lockdown, we recognise that young people among us could be vulnerable and subject to abuse. This is why Amacares, an organisation that advocates against child sexual abuse, is here to assist the vulnerable amongst us. We have lined up an exciting and educative programmes that can be of help to you. Please check out our website on www.amacares.org for updates of programme. Enjoy a live chat with our team members for advice. Our online counsellors are also available to advise you and signpost you to the right governmental departments. You can reach us on 033 01 332415 or email us at info@amacares.org. Confidentiality is key. Thank you.
Listen to Reverend David Peterson.
And you have to listen. Your spouse can leave you. Your friends can leave you. Your family can leave you. Your next door neighbor will talk about you. But God will never leave you.
This and every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m. on the Led by the Spirit program on Starr Radio UK.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to Starr Radio UK. We sincerely apologize for the delay in bringing to you Mr. Bonsu, who is a rep of the concerned Ghanaian citizens in the US. Due to the time differences and another pressing issue that they need to see to, it's becoming a bit difficult for us to get through to him. So we promise you, God willing, we're going to make sure that we bring that to you definitely before Saturday, but we'll keep you posted. I will sincerely apologize for that. But then we have to bring the program to a close. But remember, tomorrow is going to be a special program from 10 to 12 o'clock. We're bringing you the first part of the morning show. And it will be followed by a special business program that will be taking place. It's going to be, it's a worldwide program, an international program. Let me put it that way. From 12 o'clock. So everything is going to be packed, and it's going to be properly packed. And as Frank said earlier on, if you want to join that particular program or that platform, please get in touch with us on Starr Radio UK. You can text or WhatsApp us. The number once again is 075-3966-1744. 075-3966-1744. And we will link you up. We go through the processes and you can be part of the meeting. However, if you are not, then you can join us on the Starr Radio UK broadcast, and you have every information that you need there as well. But remember, this evening exactly at 5 o'clock, Charlotte Odum is coming your way with the renewed show. There's going to be a repeat broadcast of last Tuesday's BB Means Business program as well. Then from 6 o'clock, then at 7 o'clock we have KB Bossman, Vicky Newton also coming your way with the property show. On that note, I say have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself. Remember, still keep your social distancing and all the protocols that have been put in place. Keep safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
Use the ballot box. Use the ballot box. Use your vote. Go to the polling station and give them a bloody nose. Go to the polling station and give them a bloody nose. One man, one vote. It is your right. If you have a vote, you've got power. So every man have a vote. Every woman have a vote. Use the ballot box. Use the ballot box. Use your vote. Go to the polling station and give them a bloody nose. Go to the polling station and give them a bloody nose. Take no lies. Take no bribe. Take no promises. Take no sting. Take no sound bites. No slogan shouting. Use the ballot box. Use the ballot box. Use your vote. Go to the polling station